We would like to salute the seniors on the Wheaton football team and their families. On the track, we have head coach Jesse Scott. He will greet the seniors and their families. We're also presenting the players and their parents with a gift from the college, recognizing their efforts over the past 4 years. Our first senior is Stephen Ball, number 66 for the Thunder. Stephen is a business and economics major from Glen Ellen, Illinois, and is joined by his parents, Scott and Coletta Ball. Our next senior is number 15, Ben Bonga. Ben is a business and economics major from Brentwood, Tennessee, joined by his parents, Jenny and Bart. Next, we have Brady Borger from Longmont, Colorado, who wears number 28 for the Thunder. Brady is a business and economics major and is joined by his parents, Todd and Mary Ann. Wearing number 43 for the Thunder and joined by Virgil and Virginia, we have Dimitri Cannon. Dimitri is a business and economics major from Lake Villa, Illinois. Our next senior is number 20, Christopher Karstens. Christopher is a business and economics major from Glen Ellen, Illinois, and is joined by his father, Richard, and brother, Kristen Karstens. A neuroscience major from Grapevine, Texas, number 73 for the Thunder, is Cademan Carter. Cademan is joined by his parents, Sam and Kim. Next, we'd like to honor number 27, Carson Chow. Carson is a biomedical engineering major from Matthews, North Carolina. He's joined by his parents, David and Rena. Next up, we have Trevor Donna from West Chicago, Illinois. Trevor wears number 33 for the Thunder and is a biblical and theological studies major. He's joined by his parents, Michelle and Joe Donna. Wearing number 34 for the Thunder is Johnny Eller. Johnny is a chemistry major from Knoxville, Tennessee, and joined by his parents, Ron and Rachel. Lawson Hagler from Alpharetta, Georgia, wears number 13 for the Thunder. Lawson is a business and economics major and joined by his parents, Ron and Beth. Next up, number 17, Jack Harrington. Jack is a business and economics major from Denton, Texas, and is joined by Earl Harrington. Joined by his parents, Philip and Holly, we honor number 90, Phil Husband. Phil is from Nashville, Tennessee, and is a business and economics major. Xavier Jones from Hendersonville, Kentucky, is joined by his parents, Sperry and LaShonda. Xavier wears number 2 for the Thunder and is an interpersonal communication major. A business and economics major from Westmont, Illinois, number 18 for the Thunder, Ben Juska. Ben is joined by his parents, Jennifer and Pete Juska. Next, we have number 77, Aiden Kingsbury. Aiden is joined by his parents, Bob and Michelle, and is an environmental science and math double major from Roseville, Minnesota. Wearing number Thunder from Loveland, Ohio, is Caleb Mary. Caleb is a business and economics major and is joined by his parents, James and Nancy. Caleb McClung, a business and economics major, wears number 42 for the Thunder. Caleb is from Roswell, Georgia, and is joined by his parents, Meg and Paul McClung. Our next senior, number 25, Ryan Miller. Ryan is joined by his parents, Ron and Mendy Miller, and is a business and economics major from Carmel, Indiana. Joined by Shay and Bill, we now recognize number 40, Jaden Pankow. Jaden is from Chicago, Illinois, and is a business and economics major. Next, we have number 48, Isaac Parrish. Isaac is a business and economics major from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and is joined by his parents, Carrie and Chip. A business and economics major from Jacksonville, Florida. Our next senior is Andrew Partika, who wears number 0 for the Thunder. Andrew is joined by his parents, Denise and Christian. Jackson Powell, number 52 from Cedar Crest, New Mexico, is our next senior. Jackson is a history major, joined by parents, Rob and Lita. Wearing number 82 for the Thunder from Lubbock, Texas, is Davis Reeves. Davis is an applied health science major and is joined by his parents, Holly and Patrick Reeves. Parker Rogers, number 68, is our next senior. Parker is a media communications major from Spring, Texas, and is joined by his parents, Carrie Beth and Jeff. A business and economics major from Las Vegas, Nevada, wearing number 1 for the Thunder, is Riley Schwartz. Riley is joined by his parents, Tony and Lisa. Joined by his parents, Lisa and David, our next senior is Sean Sisko. Sean wears number 75 for the Thunder and is a business and economics major from Phoenix, Arizona. Next up, we have number 22, Chase Smith from Roseville, Minnesota. Chase is joined by his parents, Brian and Ann, and is a business and economics major. Wearing number 62 for the Thunder is senior Ben Stokely from Charlotte, North Carolina. Ben is a business and economics major and is joined by Jennifer Stokely. Randy Wojtacek is our next senior. Randy is a political science major from Waunakee, Wisconsin, and wears number 32 for the Thunder. He's joined by parents Debbie and Rick. Our final senior we'd like to recognize is number 12, Max Wilson. Max is a business and economics major from Wheaton, Illinois, and is joined by his parents, Max and Karen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our seniors and their families a big hand.
It's finally week 11 of the college football season, and that means it's also the final regular season game. Senior day for the 23rd ranked Wheaton Thunder as they take on the North Park Vikings. Hello from the booth, alongside Ross Johnson. I'm Aiden Kong, and Ross, let's start with Wheaton. They're coming off a dominating 64-10 win against Millikan, and even though they were playing a team with the second longest losing streak in D3 at 19 straight losses, still good to flex your muscles and get a W.
Yeah, it was a big game on both sides of the football for the Thunder. Mark Forcucci threw only 13 passes, 5 touchdowns on those passes, and of course, Ben Bonga with another big game, Giovanni Weeks. Peter Johannick had a huge game, I believe 6 tackle for losses and about 3.5 sacks. So Thunder are coming off a big one. They got to get their starters some rest as well and get some backups and rotational guys in the game. So should be interesting to see how they play today after being a little bit well rested.
And let's start on the offensive side. Mark Forcucci has more touchdown passes than incompletions in the last 2 weeks. Ben Bonga's Triple Crown season is still alive, but how about Giovanni Weeks? 158 scrimmage yards and another broken record.
Yeah, Gio again has had a phenomenal career here for the Thunder and coming off a big game last week as well. Surprisingly, didn't find the end zone last week, which he normally does, but it's been good to see the running game pick up as the season's gone on for the Thunder. Of course, at the beginning, it was a little slow start for Gio on the ground, and that was kind of uncommon for what he's been able to do in the past, but they've started to pick it up, and his average per game has gone up, and he's just been such an integral part of this Wheaton team.
Yeah, Giovanni Weeks just passed running back Ethan Greenfield of North Central for the most rushing yards in CCIW play. And let's go back to Mark Forcucci and Bonga. We keep talking about this duo, and those two continue to shred defenses.
And it's kind of amazing because these defenses are being told every week, we can't let 15 get the ball, and then every game they're on the same page, and Bonga knows where he needs to get open. Mark's putting it right on the spot for him, and again, to be in a position where you could potentially win the Triple Crown for the conference at the end of the regular season, that's phenomenal, and I don't care what division of football you're playing in, that's a hard feat to accomplish.
And going on the defensive side for Wheaton, we talked about Peter Johannick and described him like the boulder in the Raiders of the Lost Ark 2 weeks ago. I think after his performance against the Big Blue, we should upgrade that term because he has been relentless.
Yeah, again, 6 tackle for losses and 3.5 sacks last week, and if he has a solid game today, he'll likely end with double-digit sacks on the season, which is phenomenal. We got Isaac Parrish up front too. He's been playing real well, but Peter is a junior. Has made a lot of incredible plays for the Thunder and been a huge part of this defense up front against the run and the pass.
Meanwhile, let's preview the Vikings, once considered the worst team in the CCIW. Coach Rooker, in his 6th season, has done a great job turning this program around.
Yeah, and they've been on an uphill trend, going 5-5 last year and 5-4 right now. If they win today, obviously they finish the season over 500, which would be phenomenal. But it's been a different type of team, and I believe maybe at one point in time was a team where people could potentially have thought, easy win coming in the week, and now you really have to look out for this North Park team. They tend to play to the level of their competition, and they've got a really good competitor today in the Thunder, so I expect them to come out swinging and be ready to go.
If North Park does win, it will be their first winning season since 1968. Meanwhile, let's start on the offense side for North Park, and it's really this passing attack which has led the Vikings. Matt Eck has improved every single year he's been with North Park, and they have a slew of weapons in Romain Umbogo and Wesley McLeod.
Yeah, and they've done a phenomenal job on offense. Matt Eck had a really solid game last week, and so did Wesley McLeod as well. You know, their leading receiver. Also, Jeremy Omboga has done a great job on offense. And then on the ground, Marcel Love and Quadra Hill and some other guys as well, Kalen Riley Richardson. They use a lot of running backs, and they really kind of give you some different options to go against on the ground. But Matt Eck's done a really good job, you know, playing turnover-free football for the most part and getting the ball in the end zone.
And part of the turnaround for the Vikings has to be their front seven. Statistically, they're not the best defense in the league, but they have ballers in Jaden Miller, Egan Bender, and JT Thomas.
Yeah, they can get after the quarterback. They can stop the run. It's going to be a tough test today. We've seen the Wheaton offensive line improve a lot over the season, and you know, the Thunder don't give up a lot of sacks. I believe Forcucci's only been sacked about 10 times this season, or their quarterbacks have, so they're going to have to really pressure the Thunder up front defensively. And yeah, those playmakers, Miller, Bender, Butler, all those guys on the defense are going to have to step up today.
And, of course, for the Wheaton Thunder, they're on the bubble when it comes to the NCAA playoffs. If we can actually get the graphic up, there's about a lot of teams that are eligible still for the Division III playoffs. Simply put, for Wheaton, if they win, they probably need to look at other teams as well as the rest of the score to see if they're going to get into the playoffs or not.
It's going to be very interesting. You know, a lot of the stuff we've been hearing is kind of the Thunder aren't necessarily in control of their own destiny. Obviously, you have to go out and win today. If they lose today to the Vikings and finish 7-3, then there's really no shot. But the Thunder are in that top 40 for the MPI, but the problem is there's teams that are outside of that top 40 that are likely going to win their conference and get, you know, automatic bids. So it's really going to be interesting to see. And, you know, there's no committee this year that has really favored the Thunder in the past and given them some good playoff spots. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out on the selection show tomorrow.
We'll take a short commercial break and be back for the national anthem.
And welcome to Wheaton College for a special Senior Day edition of college football. Today's game will see the visiting Vikings from North Park University take on your Wheaton College Thunder. The officials for today's game are: our referee is Brandon White. Umpire is Brody Bergstrom. The headline judge is Christian Rosenbeck. The
From Mishawaka in
There are 6 things that you need to know. Wheaton Gives is our annual opportunity to support Wheaton students through generous giving. This year on Wednesday, April 17, anyone who loves Wheaton College has an opportunity on Wheaton Gives to support our students. We'll be celebrating all day in Lower Beamer, all kinds of student events, activities, games, food, celebration. If you're anywhere close to Wheaton, think about coming to join us. You can give online, wherever you are, anywhere in the world, and that's the way most loyal Wheaties give. Our students need your support in order to have the full excellence of a Wheaton education. That goes beyond what tuition can provide. We really need the whole Wheaton College community to maintain the affordability and excellence of a Wheaton education. So now you know, those are the 6 things. We hope that you will support us through your generous giving.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts at Wheaton College. This beautiful new facility, located in the center of our campus, is a testament to artistic potential of every person, each one with imagination, creativity, and artistic impulse in the image of God. Home to the Wheaton College Conservatory of Music and Community School of the Arts, this space is not just a building. It's a virtual symphony of possibilities. Designed with acoustical excellence in every room, the Armerding Center is a haven for music study and performance. The Armerding Center hosts vibrant performance spaces, including the recital and concert halls, where the music comes to life again and again. These spaces host performance, worship, and study at Wheaton, in which every note, every melody resonates with a higher purpose, creating immersive experiences which transcend the sounds themselves. These venues, together with the Grand Edmund Chapel, provide opportunities to experience the sacred truths of music and the God who initiated music in the first place. Step into this thriving hub of creativity and community. Every week, the Armerding Center pulsates with energy, offering a kaleidoscope of events, faculty and student recitals, ensemble concerts, visiting artist performances, and masterclasses. But amidst the excitement, there is deep focus. Our state-of-the-art practice rooms, classrooms, and performance spaces are not just physical structures, but evidence of the college's commitment to acoustic engineering and aesthetic beauty. Over 40 practice rooms, a choral rehearsal room, and numerous classrooms underscore our dedication to the arts and the artists. Our students and faculty now revel in spaces with proper climate control, sound isolation, and ample storage. No longer scattered across 6 different buildings, the Conservatory of Music has found its unified home, a building named in honor of the esteemed Hudson T. Armerding, class of '41, former president of Wheaton College. And we are delighted to share with you the Armerding Center. This space supports, encourages, and creates new pathways for artistic engagement. The building is much more than bricks and mortar. It is a symbol of the college's enduring commitment to excellence and the thriving creative community that calls it home. We are eager to share this magnificent building with you, our students, faculty, and our community for generations to come. The Armerding Center for Music and the Arts provides endless artistic possibilities for the enduring power of music to inspire, uplift, and unite us all.
Welcome back to McCully Stadium between the Wheaton Thunder and the North Park Vikings. Again, it is the final regular season game. And Ross, we were previewing the teams a little bit earlier before the national anthem, and you mentioned how North Park plays to the level of their opponent. It's not like for Wheaton, I know Wheaton comes in as a 31-point favorite according to Hansen's ratings, but North Park, they will play the Thunder tough.
Yeah, and if I was betting on that spread, I'd probably bet them to cover for sure. I mean, North Park has been in a lot of close games, especially lately. Unfortunately, they've lost 3 of their last 4, and they're kind of in a little bit of a tough stretch. But again, I think you're fighting for that first winning season and forever if you're the Vikings, and you got an opportunity to you think about it. We don't really know if the Thunder are going to make the playoffs yet, but if North Park wins, they will for sure knock the Thunder out of playoff contention.
Team, what's your call?
And for sure, the rest of the bubble
heads.
teams would love for Wheaton to lose this game.
It is tails.
As we got the coin toss going on. Let's see what their head ref wants to say.
So North Park football to start the game. Thunder deferred.
So Ross, if Wheaton wants to win, what do they have to do?
Well, you got to start hot. The Thunder have a tendency to start a little bit slow over this season. Got to come out of the gate swinging, get on top of this team early, and again, win the turnover battle like usual. Win the line of scrimmage. That's where games are won and lost. I mean, everybody looks at the quarterbacks and the skill players, and I understand that. But games are really won and lost in the trenches, and they got to dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and have a great opportunity to do that today with the way they've been playing. And then if you're North Park, again, you got to capitalize on the Thunder mistakes. You know, you're on the road. It's a little bit of a cold game. Not that these teams are used to that, but you got to capitalize on their mistakes and make plays when you have the chance to.
It is about 50 degrees, but feels like 41 outside. Winds blowing 10 miles to the northwest. Ross, since it is senior day, how special is it that for all these seniors, regardless of how much playing time, they get to be recognized?
Yeah, it's great, and great for all the families to be able to come up as well. You put in so much work as a college football player, and a lot of early mornings and long days and late nights, and it's very rewarding to have that experience. And again, for these families to be able to come up and share the day together, it's a great time for the Thunder.
Wheaton comes into this game 7-2, 7-1 in CCIW play. North Park 5-4, 4-4. Coach Scott has made the playoffs the last 3 years. Would love to extend that streak. North Park trying to play spoiler and end any of the Thunder's hopes of making the postseason. Again, for the Thunder, win, and likely going to have to watch the rest of the D3 landscape to see if they will mathematically qualify, as there are about 19 teams vying for 12 Pool C bids. Caleb Mary to send this one away. Juan Nieves, as well as Wesley McLeod, back deep to receive. And let's roll from McCully Stadium, as that will be returned from inside the 5-yard line. I believe it is Juan Nieves.
Wow.
And Nieves is going to go absolutely nowhere, all the way back inside the 10.
This is one that maybe I would have let go if I was the returner there, and kind of spun him around with that catch. Took him a while to get his foot in and get upfield, and great job by the Thunder kickoff unit getting down the field. And I believe Nate Toffel on the first one there, along with others, Luca Torti in there as well, and North Park starting at their own 7.
That is Thaddeus Leonard, who is there on the return. And it seems like Nate Toffel has made a name for himself both on defense and special teams.
Yeah, and he's been on the D3 Team of the Week a couple of times now for special teams, and he's just had a great season impacting the game in a lot of ways.
So first down and 10 for Matt Eck, the quarterback. Here is Eck looking to throw, fires, and that pass is going to be caught underneath. Right up to the 10-yard line goes Micah Cantron.
Run a little mesh play early and good protection up front for Matt Eck, just able to go through his progression. You see Johannick and Parrish close in at the last second, but he's able to dump it off and get a nice little gain to cut the distance in half on first down.
Cantron coming with 5 catches, 57 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Had 2 catches for 12 yards last week against WashU. Second down and 5. Opening drive for the North Park Vikings. An RPO throwing that one underneath, and that's caught by Wesley McLeod. He's right there at the first down 6. It looks like he has it.
And that's the guy in the receiver room for the Vikings. Wesley McLeod last week had 12 catches, 158 yards, and a touchdown. They're definitely going to look for him early, and right now he's matched up with Max Wilson, who's the Thunder's best man-to-man corner. So going to be interesting to see how that matchup plays out today.
McLeod, 61 catches on the season, which is second only to Ben Bonga. Also with 822 receiving yards, 41st in all of Division III, and 6 receiving touchdowns. And this time we'll hand it off to Marcel Love. Very little gain there, as you had Rex Kroger, one of the people there to make the tackle.
Job by the Thunder on the inside there. Nice fight by Love. Looked like, as you said, Rex Kroger, Isaac Parrish in there on the play. And teams have had some success running inside on the Thunder defensively this season, but they do a good job that time of shutting that window and getting guys to the football.
Thunder with the 4th best rushing defense, giving up about 136 yards on the ground. Meanwhile, North Park has the worst rushing offense, only getting about 75 yards per game through the ground. Second down and 6, and they'll just hand it off once again to Love, and once again meeting a pile of Thunder players.
It looked like they were trying to sweep it outside, and there was nowhere for him to go on the edge, try to just cut it upfield and get some yards as Peter Johannick shut it off there, and Thunder get bodies to the football, calling more in there, and now a big opportunity on third down.
North Park 5 of 14 on third downs a week ago against WashU. Currently with the 5th best third down offense. It's 3rd down and 6.
And Wheaton with the extra defensive backs in here, only 3 linemen. So see if they send pressure or not.
Operating out of the shotgun here is Eck. Given protection, rifles it over the middle. That pass might have been tipped. It's going to be incomplete regardless. It's 4th down.
And that's a great job by the Thunder defensive line. They rushed 3, drop 8, and I believe that was Rex Kroger, able to get his hands on the football. Would have been short anyways on the check down, as Johnny Eller was all over that, and the Thunder with a really good early defensive stop.
Rex Kroger, 4 tackles against WashU. His dad played at Wheaton from 1990 to 1993. Of course, for Kroger, also 19 tackles entering the season, and he's been a pretty vital part of this Wheaton defense.
For sure, and he's been a big addition to the team this year.
It'll be Carson Blatchford to send it away, the graduate senior, one of the best punters in the CCIW.
Block.
That was not a good punt. You said it was blocked as it's recovered at the 35-yard line. Great field position for the Thunder.
I think it was blocked, and if so, it was Nate Tofflon, who we just talked about, who's had an excellent season on defense and special teams for the Thunder. And they're going to start at the Vikings 35. You see Tofflon shoot right through that gap unblocked. That's not the guy you want to leave unblocked on special teams, and he does get a hand on it. And good job by, I believe, Caleb Coburn to fall on it right there.
And Nate Tofflon named CCIW Student Athlete of the Week. He had a block punt against WashU and then recovered one for a touchdown against Millikan a week ago.
Just a gamer. Safety, punter, plays on punt return, obviously. Other special teams, he made the tackle on kickoff to start the game. Just a big-time player.
And now comes out the Wheaton offense. Again, just excellent field position for the junior quarterback, Mark Vercucci. Griffin Kropp, the one in motion. And it's an RPO pass to the outside is going to be caught by Kropp, and he'll get across the 30-yard line.
Nice, easy completion to start things there for the Thunder. As you said, RPO, little decision there, and no one picks up Kropp in the flats, and that's an easy pull for Mark, and easy completion there to start the game.
And for Mark Vercucci, completing 70% of his passes, second best in a single season, along with Jordan Roberts. And this time they'll give it on the ground game. There goes Giovanni Weeks right up the middle. A 1st down for Wheaton.
It's like Vince Lindsay might have saved the touchdown there, but great job by Davis Reeves there. They send him in across the formation and just gets a nice kick out on the edge. It opens up a big hole for Gio to run through. Good job by Aiden Kingsbury washing his guy down as well. Thunder rolling early.
Of course, Aiden Kingsbury, Sean Sisko, Drew Chirunded, Aiden Byrne, David Nussbaum, the offensive line for the Thunder. Davis Reeves, the one in motion. 1st down and 10 from the 12. They look to the far side. That pass is going to be incomplete, though, as it was intended for Reeves.
Trying to take another easy one. Mark just didn't really get enough on that one, a little low. But I like the idea. Again, would have been just another short, little easy completion on 1st down.
And Ross, in some ways, for Mark Vercucci, we talked about how he has a 70% completion percentage, also with 2,020 passing yards, second in the CCIW, and 23 passing touchdowns. You can make the case that he is the best quarterback in the CCIWs in some ways.
Yeah, and it's tough, too, with Luke Lanin, still being in the conference, but Mark's had a very efficient season and played some really good football as of late.
After the incompletion, they'll toss it to Giovanni Weeks, running right. Weeks, he is in! Touchdown, Thunder!
Well, what a run by Weeks and a great start for the Thunder. Randy Wojtacek just absolutely decleated his man there on the edge and paved the way for Weeks. What a block there, and this is exactly the start you want if you're the Thunder, getting a quick stop on defense, getting a quick score on offense, having a punt block as well. Excellent job.
Again, 158 scrimmage yards for Giovanni Weeks, coming into this game with 790 rushing yards. Second in this view, now just picked up his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Mateo Jesh now on for the extra point. Jaden Pankow, the long snapper. Josiah Smith, the holder, and the kick is good.
Well, pretty quick score for the Thunder there, and getting the ball to some different guys early, touching it.
Offsides. Defense number 2. A penalties decline. Result of the play is good.
The penalty is likely against Chandler Hodge.
See this replay here. Look at Wojtacek come in motion and bam, just crushes the defensive end for North Park. Hope he's okay. Looks like he's getting up, and it just opens up a huge lane for Gio to run through. And good to see Gio get in the end zone after having a ton of yards last week, but not making it there.
But yeah, for Randy Wojcik, seems like when you want to block, it feels so good to just basically take out a defender like that.
Oh yeah, those blocks are always fun, and it's kind of tough because some of them have been taken out of the game of football, and for right reasons. You don't want people to be taking cheap shots and stuff throughout the game or whatever, taking a lot of those blindside hits. But whenever you can get one like that that's kind of drawn up for you on that little motion into the crack, I mean, it's always good to get a block like that.
Underscoring on their opening drive. They'll send it right back to North Park for their second drive. And this time it'll just go into the end zone. Leonard not going to touch it whatsoever. And back out comes Matt Eck and this North Park offense. Of course, for Matt Eck, only 2 seasons ago, he actually led the entire CSIW in interceptions, 17 picks. But over the course of 2 years, he's improved a lot. Right now, completing about 64% of his passes, 3rd best in the conference.
Yeah, and he's just making a lot better decisions. We saw him on the first drive, even though it was a pretty quick drive and only a couple passes, or a few passes, just making simple reads, going through his progression and playing smart football. And he's going to have to do that here today. They're going to need some explosive plays at some point probably to win this game, but you can't win if you're turning the football over today.
Yeah, Matt Eck completed 51% of his passes in 2022. Then it went up to 58. Here's Eck feeling the pressure, just has to throw that football away. It did not reach the line of scrimmage. North Park wants a flag for unnecessary roughness. We'll see if the flag's against.
I think both coaches maybe have a case for a flag here.
Yeah, Wheaton thinks it's intentional grounding. North Park thinks it's roughing the passer. Here's Brandley White, a ref.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 8. Ball replaces spot on a foul with the loss of down. 2nd down.
But give credit to the Wheaton defense just swarming Matt Eck on the first play.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have much of a chance there and just tried to get rid of it. Couldn't make it anywhere close to the line of scrimmage, but great pressure up front by Johannick and the rest of the crew. And Thunder again showing this 3 defensive lineman package here, extra defensive backs in with Tofflon, and they're going to trust their rush to get to the quarterback with just 3 guys.
And an interesting paradigm for this game is that both offenses, Wheaton and North Park, with the best and second best passing offense. And this time they'll just hand it off right up the middle to Marcel Love. Gets a lot of the lost yardage back as he gets up to, believe, the 21-yard line.
Yeah, and that's about all you can do right there on a play like that when it's 2nd and 23 and you're backed up. Good block up front there by Mason Wilson, the tight end, and Love just right up the hole, getting all the yards that he can. And even though it's 3rd and long still, it's still more manageable than if it was 3rd and 20 plus.
Thunder 7th in the CSIW in 3rd down defense. As Milliken was 2 of 14 on 3rd downs a week ago going up against the Thunder.
Be expecting potentially a screen or something tricky here.
They'll only rush 3. Some pressure right up the middle. That pass is going to be incomplete for Marcel Love. It's going to bring up 4th down.
And Thunder still getting to Matt Eck again with just 3 guys rushing the quarterback, and had to try to dump it off quickly there. Isaac Parrish with a great rush. And again, another one like last drive, even if it was complete to Love, Johnny Eller right there on his guy to get him down. And another quick stop for the Thunder.
And North Park with 3 seniors on this offensive line, Joshua DeLuca, Roy Lindsay, and Cade McKinstry, right, reading from left to center, and then the right guard Ethan Floyd and right tackle Caleb Apadaka. Both of them are freshmen. Here's the punt by Blatchford, and a fair catch going to be called right near, I believe, the 43-yard line.
Seeing Colin Moore back there some now, returning punts. But yeah, the freshman offensive linemen for the Vikings have likely, grown a lot this season, and this early experience for them is going to serve them well in their careers for North Park.
Officially called at the 44-yard line. Of course, Wheaton had excellent field position on their first drive. Easy score, always, of course, great to get on the board first. Now for their second drive, operating inside their own territory. Davis Reeves operating out the orbit motion. They'll fake it to him. Here's
good
Forcucci going to
play.
throw it to the other side. It's Giovanni Weeks on the reception, but he's immediately tackled there by, I believe it is either Ben Butler or Cole Woodward.
It was really nice play design there by the Thunder, but North Park defends it really well, actually, and try to fake the little pitch to Reeves and throw it out on the screen to Weeks. And as you said, good job defensively by North Park. Cole Woodward on the stop.
Woodward coming into this game with only 8 tackles, had 3 tackles against Carthage. Did not even play last year. The senior out of Indiana went to St. Xavier High School. Here's Forcucci once again. He's got the hookup with Ben Bonga, and he's got a first down all the way to the 40-yard line.
Thunder using a lot of motion early that time. They bring Deuce Scott into the backfield and put Weeks out wide, send him across in motion, and just a little snag concept. And you kind of put the flat defender in a bind there that time. It was Juan Nieves, and Bong is just wide open for an easy completion.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. Ben Bonga, the first receiver to go over 1,000 yards a season ago since Alex Picorni. He already has 1,000 yards with 1,084 yards this season.
Incredible.
Now from the 40-yard line, here's Forcucci on another RPO. That pass was low. It's going to be caught, but I don't think that much gain there for Davis Reeves.
Another one to Reeves. They're just not quite on the same page early, and a little underthrown, but Reeves got to try to just keep his feet there and get some yards. Obviously, in college, you're down once you hit the turf, but would rather have the catch than anything to still get a yard on it.
Wheaton averaging 39 points per game. Second best scoring offense. They're also the second best total offense, averaging 437 yards. Randy Voyachek in motion. And here's Forcucci. He still has the ball, throws it on the move. That pass is going to be caught. And looking barreling down forward is Griffin Kropp for the first down.
This motion is serving the Thunder very well right now to start this game. And just another easy completion for Mark there in the flats to Kropp, who was wide open. Also, kind of off camera, had Reeves downfield on a little deep crosser open as well, but good completion. Nice block by Bonga there. And Kropp getting down to around the 20-yard line. Thunder in the red zone yet again.
Kropp 8 catches and 70 yards so far on the season. And here's Forcucci yet again, just going to dump it off to Deuce Scott. He's got some space, and there goes Scott with a nice spin move, and Scott has another first down inside the 10-yard line.
Excellent blocking out there again. Randy Voyachek, I believe Davis Reeves over there as well, both putting in their work. Actually, that was Bonga up there. But just an easy completion to Deuce Scott, and reading those blockers, just getting downfield, fighting for extra yards. And I would imagine that North Park has maybe struggled with motion this season because Coach Scott has used it about every play to start this game.
Scott coming into this game with 264 scrimmage yards and 7 total touchdowns. A very dynamic weapon in this Wheaton offense. Bonga now in the orbit motion, and they'll run some trickeration with Davis Reeves. Here comes Reeves trying to outrun everybody, and he lunges for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Thunder.
More motion, a little more trickery in the backfield, and Davis Reeves get into the end zone on a reverse. Had to outrun an end man for the Vikings, who had a chance, but once Reeves got past him, you could see the steam he had running downhill. And the guy who's been playing some really good football as of late, Davis Reeves, gets into the end zone.
Davis Reeves' first rushing touchdown. He does have 3 receiving touchdowns on the season and has really stepped up well in that number 2 spot given the injuries the Thunder have had.
For sure, and he's just a very gritty player. Obviously, we've seen how good of a blocker he is as Jesh hits the extra point. We've seen how good of a blocker he is, but he's really improved his skills over the season in the passing game and making plays for the Thunder offense. As you see, Bong in motion, they fake a pitch to Weeks, reverse it to Reeves, gets around the edge, Drew Chair leading the way, Bong blocking as well, and see Reeves running downhill there. He was determined. He wasn't going to let anyone stop him shy of the end zone there.
Yeah, he was able to outrun one of the best linebackers in the game, Jaden Miller, who has 61 tackles, tied for 7th in the CCIW, but 7 tackle for losses and 3 sacks, along with 3 forced fumbles.
Yeah, he's been a great player for the Vikings over his career, and especially this season. And that's that really is a tough play to make for him there. Just one-on-one tackles and with a lot of open field is tough for the defender. And Reeves kind of just ran around him there. It's a tough play, but you could see he had an eye on it. But this this North Park defense is going to have to talk things over for sure on the sideline, and they're going to need their offense as well to put a drive together and get them some rest, because what the Thunder are doing offensively right now just kind of has them in a bind on every play with all this motion.
Once again, Caleb Mary to send this one away, and Thaddeus Leonard is going to take this one out for the Vikings. Immediately pelted right at the 20-yard line. I believe that was Ryan Miller just absolutely with a great hit.
Boy, Ryan Miller, he's made some plays on kickoff this year as well, and Leonard trying to take up the middle, hit a crease, and no, Leonard's going to feel that one on the bus ride back.
And I was talking to Coach Scott on Thursday, and he was high on a lot of seniors, Ryan Miller being one of those players who's been making plays on special teams.
Yeah, another guy who's really hard worker and always going to be in the right spot. He's a very high IQ guy on the football field and making plays.
Senior out of Carmel, Indiana, one of many seniors honored. Now they'll go to the outside. Jermaine Umbogo looking for some space before being ushered out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Nice little jet sweep there to Umbogo to start the drive. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a hold on McClung there, who tried to undercut that block. I believe the Vikings got a little lucky there, but I like them getting the ball on the edge on the first play of the drive. It's kind of tough to run that play into the boundary, but nice to pick up some yardage.
Of course, Jermaine Umbogo plays on the track team, so not surprised to see North Park and Coach Rooker use his speed. 2nd down and 5 after the gain of 5 on 1st down, and this time there'll be a handoff right up the middle for Reed Huseman, I believe. And not really that much gain for him.
Yeah, they go with an unbalanced look, trips out to the field, and give him a little counter there, and the Thunder do a good job with it up front, and Eller McClung just waiting there in the hole, as well as Isaac Parrish, and Thunder forced another 3rd down, and they've been great on 3rd down so far today.
Yep, North Park has not converted on a single 3rd down in this ballgame. Officially 3rd down and 4, though. Not like it's 3rd and long, unlike the previous 2 tries.
Man coverage look from the Thunder here with likely some pressure.
Wesley McCall to the bottom of your screen. That pass is going to be caught in stride, and a 1st down and a lot more, and still going, breaking free. Jermaine Umbogo, that track speed, he is gone. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, you can see how dangerous it is to get the ball in his hands. He just hit the afterburners on that play, and the Vikings really needed that. It's a quick drive. The defense doesn't get a ton of rest, but they probably have a little more motivation now on this next drive as the Vikings finally get a big play.
And Jermaine Umbogo coming into this game, 11 receiving touchdowns, going to be 2nd in the CCIW, also 862 receiving yards, 2nd in the CCIW, 30th in all of Division III. And Coach Scott talked about it's the yak or the rack that is really going to harm the Thunder if they're not careful.
Yeah, and you can see it there with Umbogo, just got that knee lift, and no one was catching him once he broke free.
Michael Messersmith on the extra point is good. Let's go back to the replay.
Man coverage, they send pressure, double slant, and gets the leverage there on Smith. Bad angle from Tofflon, and there she goes all the way to the crib for the Vikings. It's a big play for them, and with the way that this game has started, they really needed it. And Umbogo just trying to get him the football on this drive, and you see the trust that Maddock has for him out there as a receiver as well, not just a guy that you can give jet sweeps to clearly, and see if the Vikings can potentially get a stop now and gets even some more momentum back.
Yeah, the Wheaton scored on their first 2 drives. Vikings finally cracked the end zone. I was wondering if you actually had to time or measure the speed of Jermaine Umbogo. We talked about how he's on the track team. I wonder what his speed would be.
Yeah, that looked pretty fast if he was running a 40 or running a 100-meter there. It looked like it would have been a pretty good time. Tough to play man coverage on guys like that.
So Michael Messersmith back to send it away for North Park. Malachi Jones, one of the return men for Wheaton. And here comes the return for the Thunder. It's going to be Eli Reeves trying to reverse some space. Reeves is still out on his feet, and Reeves will at least get across the 20 for his troubles. Solid field position for the Thunder.
They've had the 2 freshmen back there all season with Jones and Reeves on kickoff return, and Reeves has made some nice plays, breaks a tackle there, but good job by the Vikings getting down there and getting him down, and now finally their defense doesn't have to play super backed up, so it'll be interesting to see if they can stop them here, but I would imagine some more motion coming from the Thunder. It's been working for them so far.
Tackle was made there by Aiden DeLisi, the freshman out of Morton Groves, Illinois. Primarily plays on special teams. So now from the 25-yard line, we're starting field position for the Thunder. For Cucci off the play fake. Going to take that deep shot down the field. Wide open. It's Ben Bonga. He drops it. Oh, my goodness. It would have been a shoo-in for a touchdown.
Well, they take the shot. Great protection. And Bonga's guy fell. I don't know if he tripped or if Bonga made him fall. It was wide open, and ball was a little underthrown. And just a rarity from Ben Bonga. I don't know. Those are kind of the ones where it's almost like it feels like the ball's in the air forever because you're so open. And obviously that's one he's going to want to have back. But I know Forcucci will keep going his way.
It's Whit Jewett on the orbit motion. Some confusion right there as they'll hand it off to Giovanni Weeks. And look at him surge his way all the way to the 31-yard line. But Ross, you talked about the motion. It must be creating a lot of confusion for North Park.
Yeah, and they're just trying to, one, the motion kind of helps defenses just get off balance, but two, it helps you identify the coverage a lot of the time. If it's man coverage, the motion guy is going to get followed while he's in motion. If it's zone, the defense is probably going to bump it over. So motion does a lot of really good things for offenses, and again, it served the Thunder well. And look right here, they're going with a quads bunch look at the bottom, and Bonga up top by himself. This is an interesting formation.
Now Giovanni Weeks comes back in motion. Here's Forcucci throwing to Giovanni Weeks, and he's got another first down. And Ross, you mentioned again, the motion really helping out there.
Yeah, just easy completions again. And I mean, everybody knows to look for Giovanni Weeks, but you motion him to the far side there and run him in the flats. Everybody's focused on Bonga over there because we know what a season he's had and what option he's been on third downs, and Weeks just ends up being wide open for an easy first down.
Vince Lindsay was the one who made the tackle. Weeks comes out of the ball game as now Deuce Scott. 4:25 left to go for Wheaton on their third drive. They scored on their first two. Here is Forcucci looking back to Deuce Scott. He's got some space, and there goes Scott. He's got a first down and a lot more into Vikings territory. Still rumbling inside the 10. Tries to cut it back to the inside, and he'll take it to the crib. Touchdown, Thunder.
Well, another great play call by Coach Scott. He's been in his bag this first quarter actually, and Deuce Scott had a ton of room off that screen. The linemen do a great job running downfield and making some big blocks, and then Scott taking a bow right there, just doing the rest himself. Excellent start for the Thunder offense in this game.
Second receiving touchdown for Deuce Scott. Now that's his 8th total touchdown. And then we talked about, he's 6 foot, 200 pounds, but a great change of pace running back to Giovanni Weeks.
Yeah, for sure. He's been a great compliment to Gio, and you see, just like Gio is, he's a threat in the run in the pass game as well. And you look here, they run a play fake to him, roll to the right, throwback screen, and you could just tell from right there when he caught it, he had a ton of space. Drew Chair gets out, picks up a block, following the rest. Look at these guys running downfield. Kingsbury, Cisco, and Whit Jewett with great effort to get one last block in, and Scott with the cutback. Excellent play there for the Thunder.
Yeah, this offensive line has been seen as a weakness this entire season, but doing extremely well, paving the way for Deuce Scott.
Okay, good.
As Jermaine Mbogo took one to the house, Deuce Scott's like, well, I can do one even better. He doesn't have the speed of Mbogo, but great vision right there, being able to cut it back inside.
And I said before the game, games are won and lost in the trenches, and I still believe that rings true, but some of the skill players in the game today have been making some incredible plays.
Here comes the return. It's going to be Thaddeus Leonard from the 15-yard line. Leonard upended right at the 20-yard line.
There's Tofflon again. And I believe Ryan Miller in on it too.
And Nate Tofflon had 8 tackles and 2 forced fumbles against Elmhurst, was named to the D3 Football Team of the Week. And of course, we talked about his block punt against WashU, as well as his return touchdown off a block punt against the Big Blue a week ago.
They really put a lot on his shoulders, as a safety or kind of one of the captains of the defense in a way, and he's still got to go out and practice punting during the week 'cause he's the team's punter as well. He's got to play on a lot of special teams, so he's got a lot thrown at him. He does a great job with it.
And here's X setting up a screen with Cantorin looking for some space. Micah Cantorin right there at the first down 6 all the way to the 34-yard line.
I like it. North Park going to the screen game as well. They've been working early for these teams, and Cantorin just gets a little jailbreak screen there, takes it up the middle following those blockers, and a nice first down gain to start the drive for North Park.
Again, Vikings coming to this game with the best passing offense, averaging about 288 passing yards per game. 3:22 now left to go. They'll feed it inside and looking for some space all the way to the 40-yard line, gain of about 1.
Yeah, there wasn't much doing there. They've tried to go with that kind of unbalanced trips look a couple times now, and they've ran it on both, and Kalen Riley Richardson gets his first carry and really had just nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, North Park has the worst rushing offense. This is a team that does not really run the football that much, as Riley Richardson with about 134 rushing yards playing in his 16th career game. Junior out of Riversdale, Illinois. Second down and 9 from the 35-yard line. Here's that quick throw, that pass behind the intended receiver and incomplete from Bogo.
And that could have been potentially a big one as well. At least a first down reception, but Eck just, again, a little behind on that pass. Just a little slant, glance right in there, and that's just one that Eck is going to want back, and now instead of a first down, you got 3rd and 9.
Of course, the Vikings on the last third down they had took it to the house with Jermaine Mbogo.
Yeah, got to watch Mbogo and McLeod here. They're on separate sides right now. Pressure shown again that they back out.
Here's Ed looking for Wesley McLeod, and he's got him. That's a first down for North Park.
So Thunder kind of go off tendency there. They back out after showing pressure, and North Park's offensive line does a good job. McLeod kind of just finds himself by the sticks there, sits in the open zone, and Eck with a very well-timed throw just puts it right on his chest. Easy first down conversion.
McLeod still in the ball game. He's to the bottom of your screen. Now Mbogo lines up in the backfield alongside Riley Richardson.
Split backfield look. I mean, could we potentially see an Mbogo run here?
And they'll just hand it off to Riley Richardson, looking for some space. Able to get across midfield. Tackle made by Luca Torti.
Nice little surge there on first down. Give it to Riley Richardson, and Rex Kroger shuts off the edge, but he's able to cut back inside and pick up some good yardage there.
I guess you can also include Max Wilson there on the tackle for the Thunder, as well as Nate Tofflon. So now 2nd down and 4. As Nate Tofflon, the leading tackler for Wheaton so far, 4 tackles for him. Vince Lindsay for the Vikings leading the way with 3.
This could be shot territory here.
The play clock right now at 5. It momentarily froze, and they'll hand it off inside once again to Riley Richardson, and that time nowhere for him to go.
Good job by the Thunder up front again, bringing up another 3rd down, and right in there, Isaac Parrish, Colin Moore, a ton of other guys making the stop, and a 3rd and short opportunity now for North Park instead of 3rd and long, which could play into their favor.
McClung also there to make the tackle. It's 3rd down and 3, under a minute left to go for NPU.
Interesting that they're running a condensed formation here.
Here is Eck, only a 4-man rush, lobs it downfield. That pass is going to be incomplete though for Caterin.
They ran that mesh underneath again. The Thunder did a good job with it, trying to cover the sticks there and just try to get that corner route in there. Not a lot of space into the boundary. Thunder do a good job defending it. Now we'll see what the Vikings decide to do on 4th down.
Well, it looks like the offense stays out there. Are you surprised by this decision, Ross?
Not necessarily.
Vikings 15 of 20 on 4th down conversions, 5th in the CCIW.
Play clock is winding down here. Don't have much time. Probably gonna have to burn a timeout. Yep.
And looks like they'll call a timeout.
Timeout, North Park. That's the first of the half.
So I'm assuming for North Park, because we're trying to draw the Thunder off sides, are they going to punt right here, or do you think they're going to try to draw the play and go for it again?
I really don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see anything. I mean, I think in a game like this, if you're really trying to win, you would go for it at this point, even though it's early in this game. I mean, it is, 4th and about 3, so you got to trust that you can get 3 yards, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of line up, try to draw the Thunder off sides, and then potentially step back, take a pooch punt or something of that nature.
Well, for the Wheaton Thunder offensive, we talked about 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. They've really been on fire, man. You talked about the motion really breaking North Park's defense.
Yeah, Coach Scott has been calling a great game so far, one of the best I've seen from him this season. And obviously players make the plays, but Coach Scott doing a really good job of putting his players in the right position to make plays, and just the motion allows different guys to get the football, again, getting that defense off balance and helping Forcucci identify the coverage and whatnot, and they've had great success with it early. I'd imagine they continue using it the rest of the day.
Coach Scott in his 4th season with the program, 34-9 overall, and it looks like North Park's offense is staying out there. Wheaton with the best 4th down defense, by the way. Here's Eck throwing that pass, batted away and incomplete, as it was Johnny Eller saying no to that.
Another sort of mesh concept again. They motion in to a mesh look, and Johannick wins quickly on the rush. Eck has to get rid of it. Wilson had glove-like coverage there, but Johnny Eller also sitting right in that spot to knock that one down, and a huge 4th down stop for the Wheaton Thunder.
I mean, it's kind of scary for Peter. Johannick leads the team as well as the CCIW in tackle for losses with 17.5, as well as sacks. As Coach Scott, he described him as an absolutely destructive force.
Yeah, and Vikings leaving Caleb Apodaca on him as a freshman one-on-one there on 4th down. I would try to keep a back end to help or something other than give him a one-on-one rush on 4th down.
The Wheaton offense now back out on the field, and they'll just give it right up the middle to Giovanni Weeks up near to the 49-yard line.
See if they snap another play here, or if they decide to take it to the quarter. Nice little inside rush. Could have even pulled that one and looked for Bonga out there, but good option either way.
Well, it looks like Forcucci looking at the sidelines are going to let this clock run all the way to 0.
The best thing about that for the players is they have to travel 2 yards.
Well, it's 21-7 in favor of the Thunder. Ross, what do you like so far from Wheaton?
Yeah, the offense has been on fire early. They've had some big plays. They've had some good kind of drive it out moments as well in the defense, despite the one big play given up to Umbogo. They've done a really good job as well. North Park needs to really settle in and get a stop defensively in this game, I think, to give them some momentum and give them some confidence on that side of the football. But their offense has been doing some good things. They just have missed a couple opportunities. I think they need to just try to continue throwing it on the Thunder defensively, trusting, Umbogo, McLeod, the other weapons they have out there, and trusting Matt Eck to make the right reads and right plays.
Of course, we talked about at the top of the broadcast that this is potentially a playoff game in the sense that if Wheaton wins, they do have a chance to make the playoffs. Hanson's rating gives it about an 82% chance, but not guaranteed for the Thunder. If we can actually turn to the graphic on the screen, Wheaton, alongside, I believe, 9 other teams, are considered bubble teams. You can see right here, Alma, Brockport, Ithaca, John Carroll, Mary Hardin, Baylor, Monmouth, Trinity, UW La Crosse, UW River Falls are all in the category that Greg Thomas says that they need to win and watch the scores in the sense that they need to hope that the math plays out in their favor.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to seeing if the Thunder win today, kind of how the rest of the Division III landscape shakes out.
Of course, that's only one guy's opinion, not the entire opinion of everyone, as here's Forcucci taking a deep shot down the field. It's caught. Bonga, he's in. Touchdown, Thunder.
Well, Bonga dropped a potential wide-open touchdown earlier, which is very surprising, and told you they'd go back to him, and gets Chandler Hodge, the sophomore, one-on-one there, who actually had pretty decent coverage. Bonga had a step on him, but Forcucci with a perfect throw. Those two have been on fire together all season. Big score for the Thunder.
First touchdown for Ben Bonga in this ballgame. It's pretty crazy because he actually has a chance, especially if Wheaton plays another game, or if Bonga can. He has a chance to get to 19 receiving touchdowns on the year, which would tie Alex Piconi's single-season record.
Incredible stuff.
Of course, Alex Piconi back in 08, 1,428 yard, 19 receiving touchdowns. Back to the replay.
You see this one just play action, cover one defensively, and again, pretty good cover. Look at where that ball ends up, right over the shoulder and ball in his hands. Great concentration by 15 there, and gets into the end zone for the Thunder with another big explosive play for this offense.
And what would you say, Ross, is the biggest strength or attribute of Bonga? I know there's a lot, but what would you say the one big thing?
I'd say probably his route running, honestly. I mean, he's really got everything in the toolbox, but knows how to get open and has a very good feel for the game as well. Knows kind of where those, open areas are in the defense, but you see he's got great hands, great concentration as well. I know he's probably still kicking himself for the drop a couple drives ago, but he's really got the full package, and we've seen his run after the catch really improve this season as well, which I think was maybe one of the areas he was trying to work on in the offseason.
Coming into this game with 2,798 career receiving yards, here is Thaddeus Leonard just going to call for the fair catch. At least not like the NFL dynamic kickoff or whatever you want to call it. We still got the regular rules here in college football, folks.
Yeah, I can't say I've been a fan of that in the NFL this season.
So now the Vikings come back. They were able to finally score on their third drive, but all of a sudden Wheaton, they keep pulling away 4 drives, 4 touchdowns for them.
Yeah, and the Vikings are really in a tough spot right now, kind of in a danger territory of this one, being out of hand already. They really need to go down and get 7 points on the board here.
And it's a bit surprising given how, if you look at North Park's schedule, they're 4-4 in games decided by 1 score. Other than their loss to North Central, as well as their win against Milligan, they've been relatively close. And
they really have.
And here's the handoff right near the 30-yard line, though I believe called at the 29-yard line for the Vikings, as that was Marcel Love.
Marcel Love with the carry for the Vikings.
Decent little crease there, but the Thunder just, again, getting guys to the football up front. Nice gain, though, for North Park on first down. You don't want to have no gain or be playing behind the sticks on second down.
Already 220 offensive yards for Wheaton. 2nd down and 6 now for the Vikings early on here in quarter number 2. Micah Cateran, I believe, to the bottom of your screen. Guarded by Riley Schwartz. That pass on another slant is going to be incomplete as they were trying to go for Randy Johnson.
Well, Thunder secondary was ready for that one. Max Wilson and I believe Nate Tofflon were all over that. Throw was off target as well with some pressure from Isaac Parrish at the middle and another quick 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 6 now for North Park. Currently 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions in this ball game.
Haven't seen a ton of McLeod yet. Be interesting to see if they go his way here.
Randy Johnson to the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 6. Here is Eck looking to set up, I believe, a tunnel screen. It is Jermaine Mbogo. He's got nowhere to go as Riley Schwartz ushers him out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and long.
Yep, excellent call there. They run a little tunnel screen to Mbogo out of the slot, and Johnny Eller on it. Riley Schwartz doing a good job getting to the football there, just shoving him out of bounds. Another quick 3-and-out stop forced by the Thunder defense.
Of course, going into this ballgame, the narrative was, okay, North Park's best passing offense against this Wheaton secondary. So far, it looks like the Wheaton defense has won the battle.
Yeah, they definitely have so far, and they're getting to play with a big lead right now as well, so you can play freer, but they've done a great job.
And here is Colin Moore going to reverse field and try to take it. Moore is going to be wrapped up near the 23-yard line at last by North Park. A couple of players there to make the tackle. Yeah, Theo Smith, one of them.
Like Samuel Aguirre in there as well. Good job by the North Park punt unit.
Again, North Park best passing offense. Wheaton second best passing defense. As the Thunder offense coming back out onto the field. You could have not scripted a better series. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns, looking to make it 5 in a row now.
They've certainly got their mojo going right now as a team. Wheaton does, and it's good to see that. Obviously, again, we talked about the playoffs potentially not being sort of in their control, but you can't afford to lose today, and they've played like a team that can't afford to lose.
Here's Ben Bonga, the one in motion. By the way, Mark Vercucci, 8 of 10, 2 passing touchdowns, make it 9 of 11. He's got a first down all the way to the 40-yard line as out Wick Jewett.
Nice completion there, and they send Bonga in motion. He draws a lot of attention, kind of just bubbles out in the flats, and easy completion right up the seam there to Wick Jewett, who's been another guy that's had to step up some this year, the junior out of Texas. And nice catch and run there for a drive starter.
These last 2 weeks, Mark Vercucci, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, more passing touchdowns than incompletions. 5 passing touchdowns against Milliken and 5 incompletions. That's just so unfair. Now at the 40-yard line, Davis Reeves the one in motion. Here's Vercucci on a 4-man rush, rifles it to Davis Reeves, and the tackle being immediately made there by North Park. I believe Ben Butler wanted them to make the play.
Good job by Ben Butler and Jaden Miller, 2 of the key North Park defensive players. Still a nice little completion to Reeves, but very short gain there, and that's right now that's a win for North Park with the way things have gone.
Of course, Ben Butler, 3 interceptions, all in one game against Illinois Wesleyan, as he was named to the CCIW Student Athlete of the Week, as well as the D3Football.com Team of the Week.
Might be taking a shot here to Bonga potentially. He's got one-on-one coverage.
3 on the play clock, by the way. And they'll
right.
just hand it off to Giovanni Weeks. Look at that stiff arm. Giovanni Weeks off to the races yet again before being upended into North Park territory. But that nasty stiff arm there.
Yeah, or you can just do that, give the ball to Giovanni Weeks into the boundary and let him go to work. Of course, good job by the offensive line on that left side, and Weeks with a nice stiff arm, getting up the sideline, getting a ton of yards, and he'll get a little breather here for Deuce Scott.
And it seems like for Wheaton, one of the adjustments that they made in the running game was adding more wham blocks to help spring more explosive plays on the rushing attack.
Yeah, they love slicing those guys across, even if they're receivers like Davis Reeves. And as we see a little reverse to Bonga here.
Yeah, here is Bonga looking for some space. He got a block, and Bonga all the way down to the 25-yard line. So another positive gain for Wheaton.
Bonga takes the toss.
Yeah, as I was saying, though, about the last play, they love even bringing those receivers across the block. But nice reverse. We saw him give it to Reeves earlier for the touchdown. They give it to Bonga here. Good blocking by Wojtaszek and Drew Chair. And nice tackle made on the play, but it's still a 9-yard gain for the Thunder.
Deuce Scott remains in the ball game. Under 11 minutes now left to go for the Thunder. Driving down the field after North Park
Man coverage.
went 3 and out. Here's Vercucci, still has the ball underneath in the flats. That is going to be caught. It's going to be Randy Wojtaszek who rumbles forward for yet another first down. Or rather, yeah, it is Randy Wojtaszek.
Yep, nice little completion there. Easy sort of RPO into the flat. Little run solution. And Wojtaszek wide open.
Yeah, it seems like for this Wheaton offense, they have RPOs. Coach Scott also turns certain alignment solutions based on the leverage and the depth of the defender, really getting the ball and making easy reads for Mark Vercucci.
Going to the spread here. Bonga in the slot right now on that right side.
Giovanni Weeks back in the ball game. Davis Reeves to the bottom of your screen. North Park showing pressure. Here is Vercucci looking for Ben Bonga, and it's going to be incomplete on that play.
Ran him on a little slot fade, sort of to the front pylon there, and North Park does a pretty good job covering that one. I believe Bonga might just not have been ready for that one as well.
It was Cole Woodward, the senior, there in coverage blanketing Bonga. So now you got 2nd down and 10 for Mark Vercucci. Again, 11 of 13 for 2 passing scores. The Thunder operating out of 21 personnel. They'll throw it to the outside for Deuce Scott, trying to break a tackle. But
nice
Deuce Scott
tackle.
with a very minimal gain right there, as it was Ben Butler there swinging down.
Seeing Ben Butler with a couple really nice tackles on this drive, and that's a long way to go. To make that play has to beat the stiff arm as well, but excellent job, and Chandler Hodge was there as well, forcing a 3rd and 9 for the Thunder here.
This is only the 2nd 3rd down attempt by the Thunder. They've been able to carve up so much on 1st and 2nd down, as Jack Harrington is in the ball game. He's between, I believe, Bonga and Reeves, if I'm not mistaken. That might
Jewett and Reeves. Bonga's at the top of the screen potentially one-on-one coverage.
Thanks for the correction. Giovanni Weeks, the one in motion. Here's Furcucci looking to Bonga. He is going to go all the way for yet another touchdown.
Well, they motion out to empty there, and North Park playing man coverage behind it. Easy win on that little slant for Bonga. Sure, we'll see the replay after the kick, but that's just an easy touchdown for the Thunder right there.
Receiving touchdown now, number 17 for Ben Bonga. 2 away from tying Alex Bacorni for the most touchdowns in a single season. For Mark Furcucci, once again, uber efficient. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 incompletions. As that extra point, it is good for the Thunder. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. Wow. Let's go back to the replay.
Yeah, little slant for Bonga just wins right away. Mark puts it right on that outside shoulder away from the defender. Bonga with the long arms able to make that easy catch, and Chandler Hodge is a sophomore probably wishing they weren't in man coverage on that play.
And we talked a little bit about Coach Scott. Let's talk about Coach Rooker. He's in his 6th season. If you look at his overall record, 14-38, but last season 5-5, especially for a North Park fan. For a Wheaton fan, you're like, okay, 500, whatever. But for North Park, a really big deal, finishing with a non-losing season for the first time since, I believe, the 1968 season. I mean, previously they had 2 other seasons where they had 5 wins or more, 1958 and 1959, but still an incredible job that Coach Rooker has done here in season number 6.
Yeah, and at the very least, I mean, depending on how, if the day goes like it's continued to go, they'll finish 5-5 again, which again, like you said, for a team that's had some losing history to get back up to 500, that's really the first step, and it's great to see that happen. Now they just got to continue to build on this sort of momentum they've had these last couple seasons and get above 500 is that next step, and you know, then you start thinking potentially playoffs and stuff like that. But I like the job that the coaching staff has done there in North Park and getting this program back.
It's going to be Zach Schlemer to hold. He does have holding experience. We talked about how he served as the holder for Mateo Jesh in high school and Josiah Smith in middle school, holding for Caleb Mary on the kickoff right here.
That's what the Windy City will do to you.
And here comes the return by, I believe it's Wesley McLeod, and McLeod is going to be upended at about the 21-yard line. Aiden Dorn, I believe, came up with a tackle for Wheaton.
Good job there by Aiden on special teams.
One tackle against Elmhurst, the sophomore out of Michigan. They're getting a lot of different players to come on to special teams, but for North Park, they really need to step up because they could, as you said, find themselves out of this ballgame by halftime if they're not careful.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get into the end zone on this drive.
North Park with only 127 total yards. And they'll hand it off right up the middle. Goes Marcel Love. Gets a nice positive game on the first play of this drive.
So the last few drives, they've been coming out with a good play on first down, but then they haven't really been able to do anything with it. And you see them send a little jet motion there, give it to Love up the middle for a nice game. But now they've got to get a first down here, just get some positive yardage and make it an easier third down opportunity.
4 carries, 17 yards for Marcel Love. Again, leading tackler for the Thunder. Now it's Peter Johannick at 5. Ben Butler with 4 tackles for the Vikings. 2nd down and 4 from the 28-yard line. Randy Johnson, the one in motion. And they'll hand it once again to Love. And it looks like he'll only get to about the 30-yard line.
Still a positive gain, though, for them. At least they make it third and really short as a little counter to Love. It looks like Egg maybe wanted to pull that one, throw it out to Johnson, but either way, they get a nice little gain. Got to convert here, though.
I believe this is their shortest third down to go. 3rd and 1.
Thunder have been playing great up front defensively today. Now having those 4 down linemen, Owen Downing in the game, up in the middle, it's going to be tough to run on them inside there.
Vikings 2 of 6 on third down conversions so far in this ball game. They'll actually look to pass. Here's Eck throwing that pass that's going to be caught. It's at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got the first down.
I don't think he did either, and they've been running that mesh to death already in this game. And right on that one, looks like Caleb McClung and Max Wilson bringing down McLeod there, who hasn't really been targeted much today. Gets one there, but number 1 receiver for the Vikings. And the Thunder were ready for that one.
For now, the Vikings offense go out there. But going back to that last play, are you a bit surprised the Vikings actually passed on that one?
A little bit. I'm more surprised that they ran the same concept that they've been running, that little mesh. I mean, the Thunder clearly have been on top of things when it comes to that play, but it looks like they're going for it here potentially.
Shades of Brandon Staley now lining up under centers. Matt Eck looking for a tush push. Did he get the first down is the question.
Thunder's saying he didn't get it.
And they finally blow the play dead. This is going to be awfully close, so the ref's going to have to sort this one out.
They might have to bring the chains out for this one, but from up here, it looked like the Thunder got the stop. It's going to all depend on the ref's marking, though.
Of course, both teams contradicting. It looks like Wheaton stopped. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, that was a gutsy decision with 6:55 left to go in the second quarter.
Well, I mean, that's a call that most coaches would make if you were to go for it in the situations. That little quarterback sneak, and the Thunder just said, no, you're not picking up this first down. They do a great job on the inside. Hard to point out one guy in particular with just this one camera angle, but, I mean, you know, incredible job.
And you talked about the battle of the trenches. That was a pretty much battle of the trenches, and the defensive line won that battle.
Yeah, they really did.
So now Wheaton back out on the field. Once again, excellent starting field position. And they'll just give it to Giovanni Weeks. Weeks with a nice spin move there, rather stiff arm. And Weeks will go out of bounds, juking his way forward for Wheaton.
Another nice pickup on first down for the Thunder. A little counter into the boundary to Weeks. Good blocking by the offensive line and tight ends. And so hard to bring down on first contact as we've seen over the past 4 years.
Giovanni Weeks, 6 carries, 62 yards, does have that rushing touchdown. And you can think, based on the desperation of the Vikings going for it on fourth down, if the Thunder can get another touchdown, it would almost be a knockout punch here in half number one.
Really would be, and you could potentially get some rotational guys in early.
Davis Reeves with the one in motion. Here's a wide open pass for Giovanni Weeks. Weeks inside the 5. There is also a flag on the play. So we'll have to sort that one out as we get Weeks right near the goal line.
I'll wait before a ref comment to say anything, but Weeks was wide open on that one.
It is Brady Wife with the decision.
Illegal motion. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So it was Reeves in motion, but he's going to be called for the penalty.
Yeah, one of the rare mistakes by the Thunder offense this season, and they just send Weeks out of the backfield. No one really picks him up. And I believe he might have been down at the 1 on that play if it would have stood. But North Park catches a bit of a break right there.
First penalty accepted against the Thunder. Backs him up first down and 15 from the 23-yard line. As we dip under 6 minutes to go before the intermission. And this time they'll just toss it to Giovanni Weeks, looking for some space. Weeks going to be right upended near the 20-yard line.
Good defense that time, and I believe another tackle for Ben Butler. Coming down from his safety spot. He's having a pretty good game so far for the Vikings defensively, one of their standouts, and they try to just get Weeks out on that left side. Vikings do a good job containing on the edge and forcing it back inside.
Leading tackler for the Vikings so far, Butler with 5. It's 2nd and 14 with 5:25 left to go. As Weeks is still in the ball game. Bonga to the bottom of your screen. Scott was the one in motion here. Is for Cucci throwing that pass is high. It's going to be picked off. Vikings with a much needed takeaway. As that was Ben Butler with the pick.
Great play there, and the Thunder ran this play earlier, kind of a little motion into a snag concept. It looked like Bonga was kind of confused where to stop, kind of trying to get around that defender who did a good job. Couldn't tell who got the tip, but great play by Ben Butler, who's made a lot of really good tackles and able to get the interception there. And, you know, defense is all the time talking about tips and overthrows. You got to capitalize on tips and overthrows. They get the tip right there, get the interception, and the first real huge play for the Vikings defense.
4th interception for Ben Butler. That's the 11th takeaway for North Park. 2nd to last in takeaways, but a much needed play there because Wheaton probably would have scored their 6th consecutive touchdown. But now 5:10 left to go. Let's see what the Vikings can do. And it'll be a handoff right up the middle. I believe it's Marcel Love who gets it right near the 15-yard line.
Good call there. Just trying to give Matt Eck some space to work with, likely. I would imagine they'll start going back to the air again, but Love's done a good job running hard on the inside. But again, on the Thunder's last drive, that's where that penalty comes back to bite you, the illegal motion. They would have been down at the 1 and then likely had an easy touchdown after that. Instead, the penalty backs them up, and North Park capitalizes on it, getting the takeaway.
For Mark Vercucci, his first interception in rather a long time since Wash U, where he threw 2 picks with now 4 interceptions on the season. His first interception at home. Here is Eck looking, that pass coming back. It's McLeod on the reception. And also a first down.
Sorry, good route there by Wesley McLeod on that comeback. Gets into Max Wilson's blind spot, playing with that butt to the sideline, and good throw by Eck on time there. Easy completion.
And Jermaine Umbogo leading the charge. 2 receptions, 73 yards for him. Of course, that was that big touchdown run by Umbogo. And once again, Marcel Love just met immediately by that Thunder defense.
No, Peter Johannick was in there. Looked like he had some help with him. Beats the block right away. Colin Moore gets in there trying to get that ball out, but really good stop by the Thunder.
Along with Caleb McClung, a slew of Thunder players rather, with now 3:40 to go, loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Going with this trips unbalanced look again.
Here's actually looking to throw. That's caught by Umbogo. It was rifled right at him all the way to the 28-yard line.
He rifled that one in for sure. That was a really good catch by Umbogo, who had to catch a heater and also take a hit afterwards from multiple Wheaton defenders. But good job to cut the 3rd down distance in half.
Tofflin, one of the players to make the tackle for Wheaton. 3rd down and 4 as we dip under 3 minutes to go before halftime. As you have Jermaine Umbogo operating out of the slot.
Going out in the spread look again. Thunder with the 3 down lineman.
Thunder showing pressure. They'll bring a little bit of it. Here's Eck looking. That pass is going to be picked. Intercepted by the Thunder. That was Max Wilson with the INT.
Just trying to run some hitches at the sticks there, and Max Wilson just sitting on that one. Pretty easy takeaway there for him. The veteran corner with a lot of experience and a great feel for the game defensively. Gives up the catch to McLeod a few plays ago and then gets the pick on him right there. Great takeaway for the Thunder to get it right back in North Park territory.
One of 2 preseason All-Americans alongside Giovanni Weeks, a first-team All-CCIW selection a season ago. Now has his 2nd interception of the season, had one against Carroll, and also his 8th pick in his entire career.
Yeah, and you don't often see teams throw Max's way a lot, and they're for reasons like that.
Now from the 31-yard line for Cucci, off play action, fires it downfield. That pass is going to be caught. There's also a flag on the play, as it was caught by Bonga. We'll check the marker.
Holding, defense number 4. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
Goes against Samuel Aguirre, but another chain mover for Wheaton.
It's a Thunder 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty easy completion there. They brought Jack Harrington, I believe, in motion and had him run a very long way, but Bonga wide open on that little deep out, off play action.
4 catches, 80 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns for Ben Bonga. Bonga to the bottom of your screen. Here's Vercucci looking his way for the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown Thunder, now 1 shy away from 19 receiving touchdowns.
Excellent play there. Great throw from Mark Forcucci. And Bonga, little fade there at the goal line. Great catch. Maybe if he had caught that deep one earlier, he could potentially have tied the record already, but still a good amount of game left, and if he stays in the game, I think he's got a really good chance to tie it today.
Here's the X by Mateo Jesh. And it is good. I mean, I did not think Ben Bonga would have an opportunity to break the record, but again, as you said, one receiving touchdown shy.
Yeah, and he runs a little fade here at the bottom of the screen, and Mark with a really good pass right on target. Bonga kind of taking it almost off the defender's head, just pulling it away. Very veteran play right there that time. Drawing Aguirre defensively, and an easy touchdown for the Thunder in the red zone yet again, capitalizing on the Max Wilson interception.
That's now 4 passing touchdowns for Mark Vercucci. But going back to when Mark Vercucci played at Wheaton North High School, of course, before he came to Wheaton, he was at Wheaton North, and then he went to Holy Cross. But there are a lot of known players who used to play on Wheaton North who are now here, including Ben Bonga before he transferred over to Tennessee. But you talk about Mark Vercucci, Seth Courtnova, Trent Gable, Rex Kruger were all teammates at one point.
Yeah, they get a lot of local guys for sure. They love them up here, keeping them in town. And you can tell the chemistry that Mark and Ben have been able to develop over the course of their lives and this season.
And here is the return by North Park. And that'll be upended right at the 25-yard line, so about a neutral return there for Wesley McLeod.
A little 2-minute drill opportunity here for the North Park offense.
By number 41, Aiden Doran.
Once again, you had Aiden Doran on the tackle, but going back to Mark Vercucci, final high school game, of course, was in the 2021 7-8 state championship, as Seth Courtnova, his main receiver, 7 catches, a $158 and 1 touchdown for Wheaton North's first state title in program history.
It's an impressive thing to be a part of.
Vercucci playing in 29 games in high school, 4,168 passing yards and 49 passing touchdowns. They'll run it to the outside, just absolutely nowhere to go yet again. That Wheaton defense has been absolutely fierce. I believe it was Kroger there wrecking the play.
Little jet sweep to Jeremy Ombogo.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Rex Kroger with a great job to get off that block, get outside, make the tackle, as well as Max Wilson being right there.
So 2-minute timeout, 2nd down and 16. Obviously, not has been the start for North Park, but I'm assuming that they're going to have something here on this 2-minute drive to keep things competitive.
Yeah, they definitely will. Did we get the ball to start this game, or did North Park?
I believe
North Park did, right?
Yeah, so Wheaton does have the ball in the second half.
Yeah, North Park, I mean, they would need to score either way, but they definitely need to score now that they're not getting the ball back to start the second half.
I mean, it's kind of incredible. Only 154 yards now for North Park, being held to 129 yards. Obviously not the same thing when they played North Central and they were held to under 70 yards. North Central on a completely different level, as they already clinched the CCIW regular season title. They'll be in the playoffs. But, I mean, you think, given how North Park played WashU very tough, this would be a competitive game, but Wheaton has just flipped on a completely different script.
Yeah, this may be the best version of Wheaton that I've seen, in my opinion, this season. Just considering the implications that are on the line and the opponent that they had today with North Park certainly being a formidable opponent. This is really the best football on both sides that they've been playing this season.
So 2nd down and 16, first play after the 2-minute timeout. And heck, what's a little bit of confusion, the ball's on the ground and the Thunder have it. It's picked up by Peter Johannick, and yet another turnover for North Park.
Yeah, and that was just tough one. Kind of had trouble with the snap. Couldn't get the handoff off. Goes on the ground right to Peter Johannick. And the Thunder with an opportunity to get close to 50 now before the half ends. I don't expect them to go for 2, but it'd be pretty impressive to get 50 points in the first half of a football game.
But still for North Park, now that's back-to-back drives with a turnover and gifting Wheaton with just beautiful field position. As Bonka will look to tie Alex Piccone with 19 receiving touchdowns in a season. Here's for Cucci instead, going to swing it to the outside for Giovanni Weeks, another big playmaker, and Weeks dicing his way forward right near the first down sticks.
Nice little swing screen out there to Gio with the receivers serving as blockers out there. Whit Jewett doing a good job. Looks like Charlie Duck and Davis Reeves out there as well. The interesting thing I saw was that they were still playing man coverage on Bong at the bottom of the screen, and I'm not sure exactly why, because that clearly hasn't been working, but could see potentially another Bonga touchdown on this drive if they keep going that route.
I believe Andrew Partika is to the bottom of your screen, if I'm not mistaken. Or rather, that's Jack Harrington, I believe. So, second down and 3. Here is Forcucci stepping up from the pressure. He's going to go immediately down. Might have gotten some positive yards with that run right there. But I believe it was Ben Butler to bring the quarterback down.
Good defense there by the Vikings. Good rush up front. And looked like that was actually Jaden Miller on the tackle. Potentially the sack. Flag down as well.
Once again, we'll check the yellow laundry out on the field, and it looks like the refs are discussing this. Trying to get confirmation with Coach Eck.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10 yards from previous spot, still second down.
So it goes against the right guard, Aiden Byrne. We'll move the Thunder a little bit back. Of course, not necessarily in a hurry. If all 3 of your timeouts are up big, so in some ways the playbook's still open for you.
Definitely is. Still got plenty of time to work with and lining up in the spread formation here.
Bonga to the bottom of your screen. Second down and 13, 1:05 left to go. As the referees are still talking with Coach Eck on the sideline.
Some sun coming out right now, too. I like seeing that.
I mean, again, it feels like 41 degrees.
Bonga's got man coverage.
So I know for some of the players it might be a bit cold. But here's Forcucci once again stepping up.
Great
Forcucci going to take off and run. Forcucci inside the 5, lowers his shoulder before being pelted there by Samuel Aguirre. Wow.
That was an excellent play call that time. Catch him off guard with the design quarterback draw. Well-timed Gio with the lead block there, and Mark nearly able to get into the end zone. Aguirre knocks him down short, but Thunder likely going to find a way to get points here. Look at, is that Aiden Kingsbury in the backfield?
Oh my gosh. Well, they look to go to their jumbo set for Cucci under center, and they'll just hand it off right in the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. It looks like it's Giovanni Weeks yet again, but wow, what a funky formation that was.
Yeah, I would not want to see Aiden Kingsbury with a full head of steam in the backfield if I was a North Park player. But easy handoff to Weeks there, Partika leading the way as well, and Thunder going to end up just touching 50.
I mean, it would have been cool if they actually gave the ball to Aiden Kingsbury.
That would have been cool too. Maybe a little trick pass or something.
Here's Mateo just now on the extra point. I mean, other than that interception, Wheaton has been absolutely flawless, as well as the Jermaine Mbogo touchdown reception.
Yeah, just easy little inside run there for Gio. 2 lead blockers. Line doing a good job up front. And it's just been a dominant performance in this first half for the Thunder.
Yeah, Andrew Partika was also in the backfield alongside Kingsbury. But now Wheaton 367 yards. Giovanni Weeks just punching it into the end zone. He has 78 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Ben Bonga 5 catches, 111 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns for Cucci. 4 touchdown passes for him. And Peter Johannek 7 tackles, leading everyone in that department. Top line with 5, Johnny Eller and Isaac Parrish each with 4 apiece. But a bit of a surprise, North Park being held to about 150 yards of offense. And one of the best passing offenses in the CCIW, only 129 passing yards.
Yeah, just really haven't been able to get going other than the one play to Mbogo. Without that play out, how many yards they have.
And Thaddeus Leonard will get slightly across the 20-yard line. And that's where North Park is going to start.
Thaddeus Leonard takes the return to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for North Park.
It's once again Ryan Miller off special teams making the tackle. 21 seconds left to go. Ross, if you're at North Park, what do you consider calling here?
Something to Mbogo, just because he's got the speed to take it the distance. He is the one guy that could probably house call this. He's at the top of the screen in the slot.
So 1st down 10 from the 23-yard line. They'll just give it to Marcel Love. And I wonder if North Park will be happy to just go into halftime.
Love with a handoff. Gain of 2 on the play.
Looks like this is going to be the final play.
Yep, heading to the half.
So the Wheaton Thunder, with playoff hopes on the line, lead 49-7 here in the final regular season game. What a story so far, as we'll bring you the start of the second half after these messages and a word from the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.
There are 6 things that you need to know. Wheaton Gives is our annual opportunity to support Wheaton students through generous giving. This year, on Wednesday, April 17, anyone who loves Wheaton College has an opportunity on Wheaton Gives to support our students. We'll be celebrating all day in Lower Beamer, all kinds of student events, activities, games, food, celebration. If you're anywhere close to Wheaton, think about coming to join us. You can give online, wherever you are, anywhere in the world, and that's the way most loyal Wheaties give. Our students need your support in order to have the full excellence of a Wheaton education. That goes beyond what tuition can provide. We really need the whole Wheaton College community to maintain the affordability and excellence of a Wheaton education. So now you know, those are the 6 things. We hope that you will support us through your generous giving.
I would say be bold. There's a lot of people here on campus who want to enter into a relationship with you. So many programs and things to get involved with, but get involved and be bold in that. And also just be unashamed of who you are. Wheaton, there is no perfect Wheaton student. Rather, we're just a bunch of broken, sinful people who are just in pursuit of a perfect God. Orientation committee, and then also, of course, transfer orientation committee if you're a transfer. These are people who have been praying for you and are making so many invitations to enter into a relationship with you in that first month being at campus. So I would just say respond to those invitations, and that goes for OC members as well as the faculty and staff that surround them. I'd say the biggest challenge was how lonely it was. When you first step onto campus, you don't have all the friends that you're gonna have. And so it took time to just learn how to make friends again. One of the best pieces of advice I had was to introduce myself to my professors as a transfer, and I was surprised just by how many emails I had from professors just making themselves known. So this is a campus where you're so known and loved.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts at Wheaton College. This beautiful new facility, located in the center of our campus, is a testament to artistic potential of every person, each one with imagination, creativity, and artistic impulse in the image of God. Home to the Wheaton College Conservatory of Music and Community School of the Arts, this space is not just a building. It's a virtual symphony of possibilities. Designed with acoustical excellence in every room, the Armerding Center is a haven for music study and performance. The Armerding Center hosts vibrant performance spaces, including the recital and concert halls, where the music comes to life again and again. These spaces host performance, worship, and study at Wheaton, in which every note, every melody resonates with a higher purpose, creating immersive experiences which transcend the sounds themselves. These venues, together with the Grand Edmund Chapel, provide opportunities to experience the sacred truths of music and the God who initiated music in the first place. Step into this thriving hub of creativity and community. Every week, the Armerding Center pulsates with energy, offering a kaleidoscope of events, faculty and student recitals, ensemble concerts, visiting artist performances, and masterclasses. But amidst the excitement, there is deep focus. Our state-of-the-art practice rooms, classrooms, and performance spaces are not just physical structures, but evidence of the college's commitment to acoustic engineering and aesthetic beauty. Over 40 practice rooms, a choral rehearsal room, and numerous classrooms underscore our dedication to the arts and the artists. Our students and faculty now revel in spaces with proper climate control, sound isolation, and ample storage. No longer scattered across 6 different buildings, the Conservatory of Music has found its unified home, a building named in honor of the esteemed Hudson T. Armerding, class of '41, former president of Wheaton College. We are delighted to share with you the Armerding Center. This space supports, encourages, and creates new pathways for artistic engagement. The building is much more than bricks and mortar. It is a symbol of the college's enduring commitment to excellence and the thriving creative community that calls it home. We are eager to share this magnificent building with you, our students, faculty, and our community for generations to come. The Armerding Center for Music and the Arts provides endless artistic possibilities for the enduring power of music to inspire, uplift, and unite us all.
I think one of the fun things about deciding where to go to college is that all of your peers are in kind of the same place. Remember, other people have done this, other people have gone before me and will come after me and are going through it with me now, but it's not as isolating as it may feel. I didn't really know what I was looking for at first, It started with me just scrolling through website after website of colleges. I knew I wanted something that was medium-sized. I knew that I wanted a strong natural sciences department. I knew that I wanted to be challenged academically inside the classroom, but I also didn't want life to stop in the classroom. I'm grateful that I was able to visit as many schools as I did. A large part of my decision to attend Wheaton was influenced by my campus visit. What instantly stood out to me was that everyone on campus was smiling. I felt welcomed, I felt appreciated, seen, and wanted. And so the application process itself was really joy-filled. The decision process was quite a different story. I got the decisions and acceptances and rejections back, and rejections stung. I became very stressed. I started to question, do I want to keep going to school? Do I want to go far? Do I want to come closer to home? And that's where I really started to ask, okay, what are the options remaining before me? And Wheaton was again at the top. I started to work with Ellen, my admissions counselor. I just worked with her really closely and had several hour-long phone calls just talking through what does a Wheaton education look like, what is the value of a Wheaton education, and got to have personal conversations and interactions. So even during a time that was really stressful, I felt valued and seen as a whole person rather than just a GPA and test scores.
Every corner of Wheaton College holds a story of growth. The Wheaton Fund is at the heart of these stories, transforming lives for Christ and His kingdom. The Wheaton Fund is more than just financial support. It is the financial lifeblood of Wheaton College, empowering every aspect of our mission. Your contributions to the Wheaton Fund ensure that the students, faculty, and staff have the resources they need to thrive and make an impact for Christ. Your contributions assist in supporting spiritual formation through chapel and small groups, providing financial aid through need-based and academic scholarships, enriching faculty with competitive salaries and development opportunities, enhancing career development through the Center for Vocation and Career, equipping athletics with essential resources, strengthening campus ministries with training, support staff, and mission opportunities, improving facilities to create a better learning environment, and enhancing academic services to support every student's education. By supporting the Wheaton Fund, you help shape the future of Wheaton College and its students. Join us in empowering the next generation of Wheaties to build the church and benefit society.
What does it mean to truly be a community for Christ and His kingdom?
Human communities throughout the centuries have made agreements with one another on how they are going to live.
Faith should not be compartmentalized. It should shape and enrich every aspect of life.
People are coming here to be shaped and formed for life.
All three of the statements, the statement of faith, the community covenant, the diversity commitment, are really ways of fleshing out our nice, succinct model for Christ and His kingdom.
These commitments make Wheaton a place of depth and layers.
Faculty, staff, and students, we all try to follow Christ.
It's a place that really develops the heart, mind, body, and soul.
And it's not about rules, it's about how we show love to one another.
They're not meant to just be these words on a page that sound really good to say, but honestly, help us to try to live out those things daily. I see it as an attempt to marry what we do and that's it.
The mission of Wheaton College is to serve Jesus Christ and advance His kingdom through excellence in liberal arts education. That mission is empowered by the enduring commitments that we make and keep. Our statement of faith, that's what we believe, our commitment to biblical evangelical orthodoxy. Our community covenant, those are promises we make to one another and to God about the way we're going to live in Christian community. And also our Christ-centered diversity commitment, how we express beautiful diversity within the body of Christ, pursuing Christian unity. Those commitments make Wheaton a very special place, a place we hope that God is calling you to join.
Is it going? Is it rolling?
Please turn it on.
Wait, is it? Hey, we did it!
Welcome back to the start of the second half between the Wheaton Thunder and the North Park Vikings. Final regular season day. It's also Senior Day. Thunder up 49-7. Ross, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, it was a very dominant performance from the Thunder on both sides of the football. Offense was moving the ball with ease, some big explosive plays and some grinded out drives as well. And the defense was all over the field, flying around, making plays. North Park had obviously the long touchdown to Bogo, but Thunder have really been in control of this game from the start.
Again, for the Wheaton Thunder, it looks like they're in cruise control, have a great chance of improving to 8-2. This win is important in the sense that the Thunder are on the bubble trying to make the postseason. And Glenn, if we can have the graphic up, Wheaton is among many teams that's considered on the bubble, as you have, those are all the teams, and those are all the teams that Wheaton is fighting with. And so it's important that if you're a Wheaton fan, you're obviously cheering that you win. You want all the teams that are considered winning and watching the scores to lose. And then you also want all the teams that are trying to clinch their conference bid to also win. So, for example, DePaul and Wabash. If DePaul wins, they'll clinch a Pool A bid, and Wabash would be eliminated. You don't want Wabash to win. Otherwise, DePaul, because they're ranked so high in NPI, would likely steal a bid. Meanwhile, between UW Stout and UW Platteville, you're cheering for UW Platteville to win because they would clinch the Pool A bid. Instead, if Platteville were to lose, they would potentially get a Pool C bid, and again, steal one of the spots for all the teams that are on the bubble.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's still probably going to have to go the Thunder's way around the country today. But, a big factor of this game will be kind of how the Thunder finish out in the second half, the margin of victory. Obviously, I don't think there's anyone on the Thunder sideline trying to be disrespectful in any sense about this one, but Coach Scott will want to put up points in the second half and have a really strong margin of victory just to show you really are trying to make the case that you can't be left out, I guess, when it comes down to this NPI ranking system or algorithm, whatever you want to call it. So I expect the Thunder to be, foot on the gas pedal for at least this third quarter. We'll see how it all plays out, but I know they're going to want to keep putting up some points on the board.
Again, Wheaton ranks 39th in NPI. They rank 15th among Pool C teams. And again, going back to the playoff system, 12 Pool C teams get in. Wheaton would just be out. But with the win right here and perhaps math working in their favor, they can sneak back into the playoffs. Again, UW Stout and UW Platteville are tied. If you're a Wheaton fan, you're cheering for Platteville to take care of Stout and clinch their conference, the WIAC. DePaul leads 21-7. You're cheering for DePaul to win if you're a Wheaton fan. Wheaton has the ball to start the second half. And here is the return all the way up across the 30-yard line and still going.
Oh, boy.
And still on his feet. Look at this return into North Park territory. Goes Eli Reeves.
Great start there for the Thunder. And the freshman Eli Reeves, who's sort of limping off right now. Hope he's all right. But the freshman's had some big returns this season and opens up this second half with another one right there.
367 first half yards for Wheaton compared to North Park. This Wheaton, give it a lot of credit to this Wheaton defense. They've done an excellent job shutting down North Park.
They really have. And again, we kind of talked about, despite really the one explosive play from North Park for the touchdown, they haven't really had much going their way offensively. And they've had a tough time getting their playmakers to the football, and the Thunder have done a good job. As Xavier Jones, it looks like, is out there now at quarterback.
Riley Howard, the one in motion. And here is a handoff right up the middle to Giovanni Weeks, who stays in the ball game. So, Ross, a bit surprised to see Xavier Jones out?
No, not at this point in the game. 49-7, you can still do everything as normal on offense with Xavier back there, as we saw him start in that North Central game a couple months ago and make some big plays. So I think they have full confidence in Xavier to do all the things that Mark does on the offensive side.
Yeah, that was something that Coach Scott talked about a couple of weeks ago, the fact that Mark Fercucci and Xavier Jones have very similar skill sets in the way that they approach.
They do, and we've seen X like to escape the pocket a lot and make plays on the run. So he's definitely a true dual threat quarterback.
With Jewett was the one in motion. Here is Jones lobbing it downfield in the wide open pass on the play and still going inside the 15-yard line. That is once again Jewett on the reception.
Yeah, Jewett was wide open, and good job by Jones to get it out, as he had some quick pressure in there from Jonathan Thomas there from his defensive end spot, and Jewett on that deep corner. No one really picks him up there, and a nice big completion into the red zone.
And Xavier Jones, another senior that's been honored out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, currently completing about 63% of his passes on the year, 460 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 2 INTs, has also have 3 rushing touchdowns on the year, so 7 total touchdowns.
Motion of Weeks out again.
First down and 10 from the 13, opening drive for the Thunder to start this second half. Here's Jones lobbing it for the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Giovanni Weeks.
And as you see again, they can do everything they want with Xavier Jones back there as well. Really quick drive, some nice completions from X there, and They get Weeks right up the seam, floats it in over that linebacker for another Wheaton touchdown.
So once again for the Thunder, striking Mateo Jesh on the extra point as Wheaton hits the 50-point mark. And then they hit the 60-point mark twice, Elmhurst and Milliken. As that extra point is good, and they're on range to once again hit 60 points for the third consecutive week.
Yeah, they've been on fire on the offensive side. As you see, they motion Weeks out in kind of a wing spot, run him right up the seam, and Egan Bender just had a tough time covering him there, and Jones floats it right into the breadbasket for Gio, who's such a good receiving threat as well out of the backfield. Easy touchdown there.
Again, going back to the playoffs, Wheaton likely to cruise into another victory. Again, they're on the bubble with a bunch of other teams. And to just remind everyone what the NPI consists of, it consists of your winning percentage, your strength of schedule, your quality win bonus, home away multiplier, overtime wins and losses, and minimum wins. Wheaton ranks 39th. Logan Hansen of Hansen's Reign projects the final Pool C team to be 34. Again, this is going to be an awfully close race down to the wire with a bunch of other teams still wanting to qualify for the playoffs.
It's wild how all these levels of college football are in the different playoff kind of systems now, especially with, the 12-team playoff in Division I college football, and now you got the 40-team playoff in Division III, and it's in a sense sort of a test year for these, systems, algorithms, whatever, which makes it even more interesting. It's kind of the first time everybody's experiencing this new format, so it makes it different than, say 2 years ago for the Thunder when they finished 8-2 and had the committee making decisions and pretty much figured they were going to make the playoffs. As to now, it's not really a committee, it's more of a ranking system and an algorithm, and you're really kind of just hoping and praying that this win today, assuming they, finish out win the game, will be enough to put you in.
Again, a common complaint about the current NPI is the fact that strength of schedule is not emphasized. Instead, your winning percentage is more emphasized. As here's the handoff for Marcel Love. Again, North Park has not really gotten anything going. Look at the Thunder drive him all the way back. As you had, I believe, Johnny Eller, one of the players there to make the tackle.
Yeah, not much room there on the inside for Marcel Love. Eller and company in there. Tofflon. Owen Downing in there as well. Doing a good job on that interior.
Matt Eck in the first half, 9 of 16, 129 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 pick. Has only completed about 56% of his passes, as it's now 2nd down and 8. Opening drive for the Vikings to start this second half after Wheaton scored on their first drive of the second half with Xavier Jones leading the helm. Here is Eck lobbing that pass down the field. That pass is going to be incomplete, though, as it was intended for Jermaine Umbogo.
They try to get Umbogo out on that wheel out of the backfield. We know he's got that sprinter speed, and Max Wilson right on it. Boy, Max Wilson jumped early and missed the ball, and it nearly fell into the hands of Umbogo, but couldn't make the catch. And now 3rd and about 8 for the Vikings.
Vikings on the season, 40% on 3rd downs. In this ballgame, 2 of 8, 25%. Thunder showing pressure. Will they bring it is the question. And it looks like they will. Here's Eck throwing over the middle. That pass is behind Umbogo and incomplete.
Okay, they actually went to Caleb Jones right there, I believe. That little in-breaker and pressure coming up the middle. Johnny Eller right in his face. Pass just a little high and maybe behind, and Tofflon was right on his hip as well. Tough play to make, and a quick 3-and-out forced by the Thunder defense.
And Caleb Jones, the senior out of Houston, Texas, only with 3 receptions so far on the season. It's interesting because North Park has a lot of recruits from Houston. I don't know how that happened. But Umbogo's from Houston. He went to Klein Forest. Caleb Jones went to Spring High School. Thaddeus Leonard, the kickoff returner, went to Langham Creek. What's crazy, Ross, is I actually know where all those are.
Yeah. Looks like Breck Peacock, we haven't seen him yet. And
Peacock's going to take it right up to the 40-yard line, so that's where Wheaton will start their next drive. And you said it, Peacock was not really in the offense, but taking special teams duties.
Colin Moore was returning the punts in the first half, but now Breck out there, and wonder if we'll see him on offense now. But yeah, that's an interesting recruiting pull from Houston, Texas to North Park. Wouldn't really figure that to be a pipeline for the Vikings, but anything works, I guess.
Chris Gilbert, the tight end, we haven't really seen him that much. He's a backup. He's from Side Park. I'm not too far from there. Technically in the Cypress area, although he's listed at Houston. So Xavier Jones back out in the ball game.
Free play.
And there is a flag on the play. You think it's a free play as they hand it off to Giovanni Weeks. Surging forward right near the 45-yard line. The tackle being made by Egan Bender, but we'll check the marker.
Yeah, Coach Scott will definitely be accepting that. It'd be 1st and 5 compared to second about 6.
Offsides, defense number 15. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It goes against the junior out of South Bend, J.T. Thomas.
Yeah, just a little too eager on that one, jumped it. And again, instead of about 2nd and 6 there is what it likely would have been, it's now 1st and 5, makes it even that much easier for the Thunder. And Coach Scott, other than the quarterback change, still rolling with all his main guys out there on offense. I think, again, just he knows the need for the Thunder to put up points today and win real big.
It's Deuce Scott, the one in the backfield alongside Giovanni Weeks, operating out of 21 personnel. They'll just give it to Deuce Scott. Scott right near midfield and to the 49-yard line of North Park.
Nice little run the inside there to Deuce. Send the pullers. Randy Wojtacek, the tight end, is one of them. And good tackle there by Egan Bender as well as Juan Nieves.
Had 64 scrimmage yards and a touchdown against Illinois Wesleyan. Coach Scott was very high on Deuce Scott as he talked about his great vision and as well as his great contact balance.
He's got a little Le'Veon Bell to his game, in my opinion. Just kind of that patience behind the line, just, hitting the hole and knowing where to go with the football.
Here's Jones now from midfield, they say. Jones lobs it downfield for Giovanni Weeks. He's wide open, cuts it back to the inside. Weeks is still going right near the 20-yard line as the tackle being made by Juan Nieves.
Yeah, ball was maybe a little underthrown there as they send Gio out on that little out and up out of the backfield, but enough to get it there and getting some good yards after the reception as well. Good job by Xavier. It looks like Andrew Partika will check into the backfield here.
Of course, Partika did play against Augustana, operated as a running back. We've also seen him a couple of times, including that touchdown run from Giovanni Weeks where Aiden Kingsbury was also in the game. And they'll just give it to Partika. Lower in the shoulder. Wow. There goes Andrew Partika. Has to take multiple Vikings, including Egan Bender, to bring him down.
Great leg drive right there from Party. Getting some help from the offensive line as well. And just a very, very athletic, very physical football player. And nice little read there on the run, just getting right down the hill and churning out some good yardage.
Coach Scott talked about Partika and his physicality. When he is being physical, that's when he's playing at his best.
No doubt about that.
Partika stays in the ball game, 2nd down and 2 from the 14. Davis Reeves, the one in motion. And they'll just give it right back to Partika. He's got a 1st down, literally leapfrogs a man. The ball comes out. There's also a flag. A whole lot of things to sort out. Let's see who has the ball first. North Park, of course, says they has it.
Partika takes the ball to the 5-yard line. However, there is a flag on the play.
David Wortham currently has the ball in his hands. Referees have not said anything yet. But by all indications, North Park claims they've committed a turnover.
During the play, personal foul, tripping, offense number 82. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a fumble recovered by North Park. 1st down.
That's a tough one for the Thunder with likely another touchdown drive brewing for them. And Party just couldn't hold on to that one. North Park gets a big takeaway, and I guess Davis Reeves tripped somebody. Is that what the call was?
Yeah, it was tripping on Davis Reeves.
Don't really see that one much in football. But
only the 2nd turnover for the Wheaton Thunder as Matt Eck back out on the field for North Park. Of course, a very tough quarterback has had to endure this rebuild of the Vikings as they will just hand it off right up the middle and swimming forward right to about the 8-yard line Let's see who the ball carrier is.
Believe that was Riley Richardson on the run. Yeah, and they've just had less success running those inside zones as this game has gone on. The Thunder have just been really strong and they're on the inside.
Riley Richardson, 7 yards in the first half. Second down and 8 now. And they'll just hand it off. Once again, Riley Richardson, TFL inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I think Wheaton's defense is definitely, caught on to the tendencies of North Park. I mean, they've gone in this trips, unbalanced formation a lot and really just ran the ball out of that formation, trying to go with a sweep on the weak side that time, and Wheaton just shutting the edge down. Rex Kroger's done a really good job today up front. Isaac Parrish is in there as well, and now it's 3rd and 14 from your own 2-yard line. You want to pick up the first here, but you're also worried about potentially taking a safety here, so you got to be smart with the football if you're quarterback Matt Eck.
37 tackles for Isaac Parrish so far on the season. There's a flag on the play. Here's Eck taking the deep shot down the field for Mbogo. Wow. It's dropped, though, and it's incomplete, as it was intended for Wesley McLeod, not Mbogo.
That was a dime. Peter Johannick, quick pressure again. He just had to let it fly.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty, still a 3rd down.
I don't know if he knew it was a free play or not. If he did, that's headsy by Matt Eck. But, I mean, under pressure there, back it up in your own end zone, throwing a dime there. McLeod just couldn't make the catch. Then now they get another opportunity, which is good for them. But that's a very impressive throw to make at the Division III level for a quarterback.
Jermaine Mbogo, the leading receiver for North Park, 3 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Still 3rd down, but with the penalty, 3rd and just 9. Vikings must get to the 16-yard line for the first down.
Pressure coming from the Thunder here.
3 on the play clock.
They back out.
Here is Eck over the middle, and it's caught by Marcel Love. He's not going to get that first down. He's well short. Punishing tackle there made by the Thunder.
Like Johnny Eller and Max Wilson on the stop. Max Wilson, the one that kind of delivered that big hit there. But I really like the call there by Coach Schweider, showing blitz. Eller and McClung do a great job of really selling it and then backing out and forcing Eck into throwing that check down. And now you're punting from your own end zone. Breck Peacock back there standing right by the 50. This is a spot where often returners can have some really big plays.
Carson Blatchford to send this one away for the Vikings. Low snap, able to get it off clean, though. Peacock did not call for a fair catch. He's still going on the return.
Yeah, he's got a lot of room.
There goes Peacock across the 40-yard line. Brett Peacock is going to be ushered out of bounds by Ben Butler. And so Wheaton's offense back out onto the field. And Ross, you talked about how Coach Schweider, and we talked about this at the top of the broadcast, where Coach Schweider was replacing Coach Nightingale. You argued, hey, there's actually not that much differences between the two coordinators.
Yeah, I really don't think there is. Maybe in personality some, but as far as, scheme and everything, I mean, they're both very good defensive coordinators, and Coach Schweider's kind of picked up right where Coach Nightingale left off in terms of the standard that the defense is held to, and they've done a really good job this season. And Coach Schweider gives offenses a tough time. They get a lot of tough looks for quarterbacks and opposing teams to kind of decipher pre-snap, and it's just been really impressive to watch them go to work.
Andrew Bartica on that carry, rumbling forward right near to the 20-yard line on that play. Tackle being made there by Vince Lindsay.
Good tough run by Party again. Kind of trying to fight his way there and get up the field, and looked like that was Jaden Miller and company kind of holding on for dear life right there a little bit, trying to make that stop.
The safety, Ben Butler, leading tackler for the Vikings with 9. Johannick has 10 tackles, which was monumental against WashU as well as Milliken. Here's Jones on an RPO. Low throw, that pass. It looks like it was caught, and it was Bonga on the reception.
Yeah, Jones looked a little frustrated after that. I think he was a little off target from where he wanted to put that one, but still in the vicinity of Bonga, and he can make those catches low on the ground there. It's actually, honestly, probably a smart throw with the safety coming in over the top. but good ball by X there, and another chance for the Thunder to get in the end zone right here.
Yeah, Ben Foster was coming as it's now first down and goal from the 7. 5:50 left to go. Jones operating out of the shotgun. Here is Jones with some time. He's going to throw for the end zone. That pass in traffic. It's going to be incomplete, though, as it was intended for Peacock.
Good coverage right there by North Park. Kind of passing stuff off defensively, and Jones had some pressure coming in, tried to get rid of it, and 2 defenders there. 4, it looked like Juan Nieves was one of them, and Egan Bender in there.
So now 2nd down and 7 after the incompletion. Xavier Jones 4 of 5. Of course, a passing touchdown already in this ball game. Mark Vercucci played the first half. I mean, again, uber efficient. Same number of incompletions as he had touchdowns. 4 passing touchdowns, 4 incompletions.
So much space for Bonga right here.
He is to the bottom of your screen, so they'll toss it to Partika. Partika is not going to go anywhere. Is going to lose some yards, perhaps.
Good defense by the Vikings front that time. They try to go with that little toss and immediate pressure getting in there. Excellent job. Looked like just a whole host of defenders. Elijah Chandler in there as well. Looked like Juan Nieves just kind of sealed off the edge right there too.
So a little bit of a setback on this drive. 3rd and 8, under 5:15 to go here in the third quarter.
I think this might be 4-down territory for the Thunder. Might be having 2 opportunities here.
And they'll keep it with Xavier Jones on the zone read. Jones now going to throw for the end zone last minute, and it's going to be incomplete. It was intended for Griffin Kropp. Surprised he did not cross the line of scrimmage on that.
I thought for sure Xavier was going to try to take off for the pylon there. Yeah, he's still behind the line, and he actually puts it right on Griffin Kropp there. Just couldn't make the catch. Really good coverage on the play by Egan Bender, taking Kropp kind of across the field there, and it looks like they will attempt the field goal. But it was a real, Xavier, when he gets out of the pocket, he's almost better than when he's in the pocket. He just knows how to make plays on the run. And unfortunately, they couldn't come down with that touchdown there, but really headsy play.
Here's Mateo Jesh on the field goal try. And it is good. Now makes him 4 of 5 on the season.
So 59-7 now. I would imagine soon the Thunder will start putting some backups into the game. But it'll be interesting. I think you have some playoffs potential scores in front of you right now, Aiden.
Yeah, right now DePaul leads 8-14. Again, if you're a bubble team like Wheaton, you're cheering for DePaul, so that's good for Wheaton alongside UW Platteville, UW Stout. Right now, 16-13 in favor of UW Stout. If you're a bubble team like Wheaton, you need Platteville to win this game.
How much time's left in that game?
The Platteville Stout game?
Yes.
Second quarter, 6:48 left to go. There's also the Linfield Whitworth game that kicks off at 3 Eastern. That's another potential decider for the postseason. Again, DePaul, Whitworth, Springfield, UW Platteville, you want them to win their games. You don't want them to lose and join a bunch of the other teams that are on the bubble for that Pool C bid. Again, there's a lot of teams vying for it. Wheaton taking care of their business. We'll likely be watching the rest of the D3 landscape to see if they will mathematically get in. Oh wow, a punishing hit right there. I think it might have been Ryan Miller again.
Ryan Miller with another big hit on the kickoff team. Thaddeus Johnson kind of taking the brunt end of that one, and Christopher Carson's in there as well. Those two combined to make a big play there. And, Ryan Miller isn't the biggest guy out there as a linebacker, but he can hit hard and again, just such a hard-nosed player, especially on special teams. Like, you got to find a way to get him out there on the field, and brings the boom right there.
Yeah, only 6 foot, 193. You typically expect those linebackers to be at least 6'1", 6'2" at the minimum. But wow, just pelted him back. And they'll give it right up the middle.
Stopped there by Johnny Eller Lucatorti.
That was Marcel Love yet again for the Vikings. And only 22 rushing yards for them so far.
Looks like Joe Bracey is checked into the game for Max Wilson at corner here for the Thunder, and he's going to be on, I believe, Wesley McLeod.
Also, John Carroll, they lead 21-7 against Marietta. Another score to be keeping eyes on. And again, another carry for Marcel Love. Didn't really get that much on that play. As Caleb McCully, one of the players to make the tackle.
Another nice play inside Isaac Parrish. First one to wrap him up. Kroger, Moore, the rest of the boys get in there. Force another third down.
Under 3:50 left to go. It's 3rd down and 6. Vikings 2 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. And a little bit of a surprise, honestly, to see Matt Eck in the ball game, but I guess this is the final game of the regular season.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to keep their guys in the entirety of this game, and understandably so.
He is a senior himself. From the 23-yard line, that pass for Wesley McLeod, it's going to be caught. It's right there at the sticks.
The ref gave him a favorable spot, it looks like.
Yeah, he's motioning for the chain crew to keep moving. 1st down Vikings.
Another one of those nice routes to the sticks there, and McLeod just finding the open spot in that zone. And McClung was coming right underneath it, so good job by Matt Eck letting that one rip to get in there on time and beat the defender.
So now from the 30-yard line, under 2:55 to go here in quarter number 3. Again, the first half just being absolutely dominated by Wheaton. Trying to finish 8-2 on the year. Here is Eck, 4-man rush. Flushed out to his right. There's a flag for a hold, and Eck's going to throw that one out of bounds. Elite Peter Johan, which just absolutely grabbed on that play.
Yeah, it looked like it, and they were trying to set up a deep shot with some verticals downfield, and really had no time to let that one fly.
We'll check the marker from Brandy White.
Holding, offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
It's against the left guard, Roy Lindsay. A senior out of Zion, Illinois, is going to move the Vikings back.
That was a tough one. That's one of those you got to protect for if you want to get that shot type of play off, and just couldn't hold up there.
UW Stout leads 17-13 over UW Platteville. Again, Platteville, you want them to win. Get that auto bid locked up, and Mac Eck going to keep it himself, going nowhere on that draw play. Actually, it looks like Justin Green checked in the ball game for Eck. Thanks for the correction, Ross.
Yeah, they bring Justin Green in and go with the direct run. Looks like he's staying in on this play as well.
He's played a couple of times against Milliken as well as WashU. Did come in for Eck on their 2nd drive against the Bears as Matt Eck was banged up. So 2nd down and 18 for Justin Green. Junior Rantoul, Illinois, they'll go on the sweep play. Jermaine Mbogo looking for some space, ushered out of bounds by Chase Smith.
Run that little give to Mbogo again, that little sweep to him into the boundary. I think it's tough to run a play into the boundary like that with someone who has all that speed. It looks like Matt Eck's back into the game, but the Thunder certainly know he is a threat to get the football when he's in that jet motion, and they've been right on it today.
DePaul still leads 28-14 over Wabash. I think another want to root for DePaul to win that game. Caleb Jones, the one in motion.
Screen.
And they will set up a screen, but it's going to be dropped on the play as it was intended, I believe, for Jones.
Number 85 there.
It's Micah Candron. Excuse me.
Candron. I think just a little low and off target on that pass. Maybe had something to work with there, but now going to be 4th and long. Going to have to punt this one. And the Thunder, again, the defense, it's really just been one play today that they gave up, and that got North Park on the board, but they've been just as good as the offense has been.
Here's Blatchford to send this one away. Peacock back deep to receive, shakes a man, and there goes Brett Peacock off to the races. Cuts it back to the inside before being shut down on the play by the Vikings.
Yeah, he nearly had the opportunity to reverse field there and make the play look like Armando Martinez was the one who was able to bring him down there and save a potential house call. But a nice return by Breck. Lets the Thunder start in plus territory.
Just the final, DePaul has taken care of Wabash 28-14, so DePaul locks up their conference. Wabash likely eliminated from the playoffs with that loss, so going the Wheaton way as well as a bunch of other teams who are currently on the bubble. Again, for John Carroll and Marietta, you want John Carroll to win that game because Marietta is a lock for a Pool C bid with a win, but if they lose, they're out. Here's Jones on an RPO over the middle. That pass is going to be dropped, though. It was intended for Griffin Kropp, second down.
Jones pass intended for number 89.
Run a little play action, kind of a little pop pass right at the seam to Griffin Kropp, and just another tough one he couldn't come down with. But you see Jones likes going to him, and understandably so. You know, one of the biggest players on the field every game. As it looks like Wheaton kind of rotating some guys in now in this skill group.
Also, correction, the game between DePaul and Wabash is still going on. It's the start of the fourth quarter. The stats made it as if it was the end of the game, but again, DePaul leads 28-14. On second down, here is Xavier Jones on the zone read. And a nice tackle indeed made by North Park. It's going to be third down.
JT Thomas on the stop there, and Jones pulls it on sort of the read option there, and Thomas, it's a really tough play to make right there. Makes it.
UW River Falls currently leads UW Oshkosh 14-7. Another crucial game, as if you are a Wheaton fan, you want River Falls to win. Knocked UW Oshkosh out of the contention for a potential Pool C bid. Third down and 9, 35 seconds to go. Jones steps up in the pocket, and he's going to take off and run. Drags the defender with him in Jaden Miller. He's going to be short of the first down, though.
Yeah, they ran that play earlier in the first half with Mark Forcucci, and this time they run it with Jones with the twos back there on offense, and North Park was ready for it that time. Good job by Jaden Miller. Looked like Egan Bender and company in there as well. And now the Thunder lining up like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 3, but we'll see if they even snap it. The quarter is coming to an end.
As that will just bring us to the end of the quarter. Wheaton 59, Vikings 7. The final regular season game here from McCully Stadium. I mean, Ross, not that much to talk about, but still the Thunder moving the ball, transforming what they had in the first half all the way into the second half.
Yeah, and I think there's some element, obviously, of trying to just burn the clock out here to a certain degree. But I think Coach Scott, I would imagine he would want to try to hit that 70 mark if he can on points. This is a very high margin of victory already at this point, but we'll see how they choose to manage this fourth quarter. Of course, it sounds like right now, you know, some stuff's going Thunder's way around the country, but who knows what the rest of this game right here will look like in the fourth quarter.
Again, Wheaton up 59-7, and Glenn, if we can get the graphic right back, Wheaton trying to vie for a Pool C bid alongside a slew of other teams. Again, DePaul leads 28-14 over Wabash in the start of the fourth quarter. Linfield and Whitworth has not started yet. UW Stout is up 17-13 over UW Platteville. Again, Platteville needs to win that game for all the bubble teams. And going back to our game, Wheaton 482 yards of offense compared to North Park, who has 173. Now the start of the fourth quarter, Xavier Jones is still in the ball game. And they'll toss it to the outside and looking for some space. And right up to, I believe, near the 35-yard line.
Like Trent Gabriel getting that carry there on the fourth down toss, and North Park kind of had it strung out. Great job by Gabriel sticking his feet in the ground and getting upfield. That's a very heads-up play right there to pick up that first down.
Trent Gabriel had a touchdown off a trick play against Milliken. 98 rushing yards so far for him this season. Still looking for his first rushing touchdown, as he did have 125 yards last year when he did play the Big Blue.
Looks like the Thunder put in backups on the offensive line as well.
Play clock is at 4. And they'll hand it off once again. Trent Gabriel surges 4 for another positive game for Wheaton.
Going with some heavy run to Gabriel right now, and good job by, looks like Ben Stokely over there, washing his guy down on that right side. Gabriel just fighting to pick up some yards.
2nd down and 7, 20 seconds on the play clock now. As Wheaton just trying to wrap this one up. Here's Jones. He's looking to throw. Now feels the pressure. Jones flushed out to his left. Rifles it past behind the intended receiver. And it's going to be incomplete. There's also multiple flags on the play.
Looked like he was trying to hit Riley Howard there coming across on that little scramble drill. Couldn't come down with the catch. I guess we'll see what the penalty is. There's 2 of them down.
Also, just to clarify some things with the NPI, it's just an analytical way of sorting teams out. So stuff like head-to-head margin of victory does not count towards the NPI, as it looks like the penalty is an ineligible receiver downfield call. But the 2 primary focuses win percentage and strength of schedule.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That goes against the senior Parker Rogers.
Yeah, you see him. Saw him go off screen there, but he was driving. He was bullying his man. Just got too far downfield, and see the pass to Riley Howard there, a little behind, but Rogers was way downfield there. Makes it 2nd and long.
You can't fault him since it was an RPO. They were trying to run the football there.
Yeah, kind of just a broken play.
2nd down and 12. Gabriel gets the carry, and Trent Gabriel right near the 30-yard line for the Thunder. Tackle being made by Egan Bender.
Likely see the Thunder go to the air here. Looks like Kenyon, Jewett, Peacock, and Harrington are the receivers.
UW Platteville leads UW Stout 19-17. So once again, cheering for Platteville to win that game. 3rd and 9 now. Trent Gabriel, the one in motion. Here is Jones stepping up from the pressure. Throws for Trent Gabriel. He is wide open indeed. Another 1st down. Gabriel all the way right near the 15-yard line for the Thunder.
Nice play there. I'm telling you, Xavier Jones is cool as a cucumber when that pocket breaks down. And he's got to make a play on the move. Good awareness in the pocket there, stepping up, moving to his right. And Trent Gabriel was left all alone and gets down back into the red zone for Wheaton.
UW River Falls leads Oshkosh 14-7. Another WIAC competition. Again, cheering for River Falls to take care of Oshkosh. That would likely knock out UW Oshkosh for a potential Pool C bid. And here is Trent Gabriel on the carry. Gabriel tackled right near the 10-yard line for the Thunder, as it was Ben Foster there to bring him down.
Getting a little direct snap there, following blockers on that left side and fighting down near the 10. Gabriel putting in some good work on this drive. Looks like might get subbed out here, depending on the personnel. Now they're going to go with 2 backs.
Ryan Kenyon and Andrew Bartiga are in the ball game for the Thunder. Drive here in this 4th quarter, just trying to chew some clock. Get to 8 wins. As Xavier Jones lines up under center. And a little bit of some confusion.
Reverse.
And you have indeed a reverse with Trent Gabriel.
Strung it out though. Good job by the Vikings defense right there. Looked like Theo Smith, number 10, had his eyes on it, able to get in and get that stop. And Vince Lindsay as well, the freshman, gets in on the play.
And Lindsay with 3 tackles. Again, leading tackler for the Vikings is Ben Butler with 9. 3rd down and 7. 10:52 and counting here in quarter number 4.
Motion again.
Jones out to his right. Gonna tuck it and run. Xavier Jones
Touchdown.
inside the 5. He's in. Touchdown, Thunder.
Wow.
I believe he just lowered the shoulder on that play. Not
He
afraid
did.
to
He's
get contact.
fired up. He got up, fired up after that run. Xavier not the biggest guy, but man, he just took it to him.
So Xavier Jones already with a passing touchdown in this ballgame, now has a rushing touchdown. Again, leading rusher is Giovanni Weeks, 87 yards on the ground game, also 2 rushing scores for him. And for the Wheaton Thunder, 3 consecutive games scoring 60 points, including this one. And it is good. And for those who just joined us, Wheaton a dominating first half, 66-7 right now, the current score. Wheaton trying to stay alive for a potential Pool C bid. They're not guaranteed to make the playoffs if they win, but in the category of they need to win and likely see what goes around all of Division III to see if mathematically they'll make it in. Of course, it does help if certain teams lose. DePaul is taking care of their business against Wabash. He wants DePaul to win. Right now, John Carroll is up 21-7 over Marietta. Linfield and Whitworth have just kicked off. And right now, Whitworth has a 7-0 lead over Linfield. Again, Platteville still up 19-17 as they approach halftime. You want Platteville to win to clinch the WIAC, avoid any crazy confusion going on in that conference. An interesting kick that dies at near the 10-yard line, and here comes the return. I believe Wesley McLeod going to be stopped well short of the 15-yard line.
See if North Park can drive down and get some more points on the board before this one hits zeros. It would just be great for their team morale to get back in the end zone one more time if they can.
And again, this was a team that once was one of the worst teams in the CCIW, but for them to have back-to-back 5-year wins, I know this score is not a representation of their overall season, but you think that the future is bright for Coach Rooker going into his 7th season.
Yeah, definitely do. And I mean, they're going to end up 5-5 again for the second straight year. You know, 2 of these last couple games that they've lost, obviously, besides today, have been really close. So I think they're really this close to from being a 5-5 versus a 7-3 team, and they just got to find a way now to win some of those games, those close games, and kind of separate themselves from more of the middle teams in the conference.
Yeah, the Vikings, as that last play there, I believe it was Marcel Love on the carry. Matt Heck is still in the game.
Great job by Philip Husband there making the tackle, shedding his block and getting in there along with Chris Carson's 2 seniors getting some action here in the fourth quarter.
But yeah, you go back to what the Vikings were able to do this season. They did have some, I would say, questionable losses against Elmhurst, against Carthage, but again, being able to beat up on some other teams such as Illinois Wesleyan and Carroll to prove that, hey, we can be a 500 level team, but we have the strength to get to the next level.
Yeah, certainly do.
As that pass was going to be caught by Ree Huseman, and he will be right near the sticks. Well, it's going to bring up 3rd down.
So completion in the check down there, gets upfield, getting some yards.
DePaul still leads Wabash 28-14, 6:42 left to go in the fourth quarter before that becomes final. Again, cheering for DePaul to clinch their conference. Wabash would be eliminated from the playoffs, likely eliminated, don't want to guarantee anything. 3rd down and 1, handed off right up the middle. That should be a 1st down for North Park. As that was Reed Huseman yet again.
Bigger back, and like them going him on those 3rd and shorts right there.
Transferred from California Youth Lutheran University, 37 rushing yards on the season for him. As we dip under 8:80 to go. From the 26-yard line. Again, another carry for Huseman. This time nowhere to go for him. The tackle was made by Christopher Carsons.
Nice play in the backfield there. Looks like Jordan Johnson, I believe, may have been the first one to trip him up, and then Chase Smith, Christopher Carson's get in there on the play as well.
And a leading tackler for the Thunder, Peter Johannek, with 11 tackles. Once had 12 against Wash U a couple of weeks ago. Under 8 minutes now to go. Second down and 10 from the 26. Here is Eck giving protection, going to dial up that deep ball downfield. That pass is going to be caught. Jermaine Umbogo still going on his feet. He is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown.
He can flat out fly. Credit to them, man, getting back into the end zone, and Umbogo's had a very solid day, getting both of the touchdowns here for the Vikings.
So at least the Vikings finally able to get on the board here in the second half. Umbogo definitely going over 100 yards as he catches his second touchdown of the day. Extra point by Michael Messersmith for third. And the kick is good.
Well, going with the deep shot, he runs that deep post at the top of the screen and just, again, can just flat out fly, gets behind the defense. Look like Mason Haas trailing and Chase Smith just couldn't get to the football. And then you see his speed, just able to run away from everybody with ease. Gets his second touchdown of the day.
Scoring update once again, DePaul leads Wabash, 35-14. So once again, better news for the bubble teams such as Wheaton. As you see Umbogo celebrating the end zone. And again, once again, Glenn, if we can go back to the graphic, this is according to Greg Thomas. That's not the only opinion that's out there. There are many opinions available, but this is what he thinks are the bubble teams. Wheaton, again, about an 82% chance to make the playoffs or go to Hampton's Ring, but again, not guaranteed. They're fighting with a bunch of other teams, still deciding who are going to be the 40 teams and the 12 Pool C teams that are going to make the playoffs.
A lot of teams just knocking on the doorstep and really hoping for things to go their way. But again, we talked about in the pregame, Wheaton, all you can control is just win your game today and really just hope the cards fall in your favor. And Wheaton's certainly come out and done what they've needed to do today.
Here is Malachi Jones on the return, and Jones about a neutral return up to the 25-yard line. Let's see who trots out at quarterback for the Thunder now.
Malachi Jones takes the return to the 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Thunder.
Still going to be X, I believe.
Chandler Hodge, one of the two players to make the tackle for the Vikings. But again, this is a great win for the Thunder, of course. Given that North Park's reputation, always good, going into your final weeks, whether the Thunder, they go to the playoffs or go into the Culver's Dismiss Bowl, whatever one, they do have some momentum.
Yeah, definitely do, for sure. They've finished this season on the right track.
Of course, for Coach Scott, writing 3 consecutive playoff appearances. The first head coach in Wheaton history to take his team to the playoffs for 3 consecutive years. Mask. And there indeed is a face mask. This is going to be a 15-yard penalty, a first down for Wheaton.
I believe that was Elijah Chandler. Just got a hold of Trent Gabriel's face mask there. Could see it from up here. Get a free first down out of this one.
Here's Brady White once again.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 46. 15 yards to the previous spot, automatic first down.
So moves the change for the Thunder, back to the replay.
Yeah, just run that sweep and really didn't need the face masks there, but obviously Elijah Chandler not trying to pick it up, just trying to make the tackle, and unfortunately got his hands on it right there.
We dipped under 7:20 to go here in this fourth quarter. Right now from the 40-yard line. And it'll be a carry once again. Trent Gabriel met right at the 42-yard line.
Said that was Brady Borger on the carry, actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The senior getting some touches. Good job by North Park on that play defensively. But cool to see some backups for the Thunder and some seniors as well on senior day get some action in this one.
Now it's 2nd down and 8 under 6:50 to go. As Ryan Kenyon, the one in motion. 4-man rush. Here is Jones throwing for Jack Harrington. That pass is caught. His knee touched the ground, so that's where the play shuts down, right at the 46-yard line.
Nice quick completion out there to Jack in the flats, and brings up a 3rd and about 4 here for the Thunder.
Wheaton running a little bit of a hurry-up offense as Harrington flares to the top of your screen. 3rd and
Park loading the box up right here.
And they'll bring in all-out pressure. Jones has time. He throws. That's going to be there at the sticks. Let's see who the catch was made by.
I believe that was Xander Carroll on the reception.
He did play against Elmhurst. It's going to be 4th down and short, though.
Just missed the first down there. Got to try to fight upfield, but 4th and really just inches right here.
Thunder going for it on 4th down. And again is the carry.
Got it.
That is going to be a first down for Wheaton. Again, it is Brady Bohr.
Yeah, little motion, send Partika across and give inside to Brady right there, and nice first down pickup. 4th down conversion for the Thunder.
UW River Falls is currently leading at halftime 14-7 over UW Oshkosh. Linfield and Whitworth are tied at 7 apiece. 3:25 left to go in the first quarter. 8 on the play clock. And here again is a carry. Boher going to get right to the 45-yard line.
Another little inside run. Nice push up front. Brady picking up a solid pickup on first down. Good tackle by Juan Nieves.
So now 2nd down and 5. Wheaton 536 total yards of offense. Again, Mark Fercucci played only the first half, 16 of 20, 253 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and 1 INT. 2nd and 5 now for Wheaton. Xander Carroll, the one in motion. And this time the carry up to, looks like maybe a loss of 1 there. As that was Malachi Jones on the carry.
Number 19, Malachi Jones with the rush.
See if they throw here on 3rd down or not. Definitely just trying to run the clock out in this one for sure and move the ball. But I think Coach Scott will want to finish with 70. Who knows how it'll play out, but I'd imagine that's on his mind.
3rd and 7 now from the 46-yard line for the Thunder. Here is Jones with some time. Throws far side. That pass is going to be caught by Harrington as Jack Harrington out of bounds. First down, Wheaton.
Really good concept there. They bring Jack in motion. Run a little speed out to him off of that stack look, and that's really tough for a defender to make that play. Slips the tackle to get some extra yards and an easy completion for Xavier there.
Yeah, Juan Nieves was there trying to make the tackle. Did somewhat push him out of bounds as he tumbled for the first down. Under 3 minutes to go. Wheaton wasting as much clock as possible. Xavier Jones, 8 of 11, 101 yards, completing 73% of his passes. Also a passing touchdown. Xander Carroll, the one in motion. Jones still has the ball now, throws it for Riley Howard. That pass is going to be incomplete. Will Porter there with a little bit of pressure.
Good job by JT Thomas there on the edge. And throw a little behind. Howard couldn't come down with that one. Juan Nieves getting over there to make a nice play as well on the ball.
2:39 left to go. Xavier Jones still out there for the Thunder. Again, trying to get to 8-2. Keep their hopes alive for a potential at-large bid. As we'll be watching the scores on the rest of the D3 landscape. And this time they'll hand it off to Borger across the 30-yard line and keeps the feet churning. That'll be brought down at about the 28.
Brady Borger up the middle. short gain on the play. 3rd down for the Thunder.
See what Coach Scott's got in the bag of tricks right here, if anything.
Thunder do not have to run a play right here before the 2-minute timeout. And I'll take us to the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
Wheaton up 66-14. And Ross, given that this might be our final broadcast together, of course, not necessarily guaranteed that Wheaton will get a home playoff game or make the playoffs or whatever happens to Wheaton. Of course, it's been an absolute joy having college football with you this season.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. And, you know, haven't really gotten many close games, but that's really a tribute to how the Thunder have played at home this season. And, you know, despite the North Central loss, I mean, they've really defended McCully Stadium well. It's been fun to have this kind of view of a game here and, you know, call these games. And it's really going to be interesting to see how the playoff, you know, selection show, everything goes tomorrow. I think, you know, it's kind of that time of year where a lot of teams right on the bubble like Wheaton are really on edge, and coaches are all probably really on edge too. So it's gonna be fun to see how it plays out.
So, of course, thanks to Glenn, Phil, Nate, our entire producing staff for an incredible job this football season. Of course, you told me that you're going to be graduating in December. Any future plans?
Who knows, man? Who knows? I move in silence.
Okay, sounds good. Well, final 2 minutes of this regular season. 3rd down and 6 from the 28-yard line. Here's Jones throwing to the outside board. Oh, wow. God. What a tackle. I believe was Juan Nieves yet again.
Good to see Brady pop up after that. Not exactly sure why Xavier threw that ball. I know they were running a screen on the back side of it and it looked like it was going to be open, but maybe the pressure kind of forced him to get that one out quick.
So it looks like the Wheaton offense staying out there.
It's a big hit, though, and Brady had to pay the price.
Well, they keep the clock moving because it was a catch. They'll probably just not run a play here and go down to 0. Well, now the play clock was reset. This was a bit confusing.
Yeah, they were wanting to bump the play clock back up, and
before the delay game, timeout, Wheaton.
Got a timeout in.
So you have 1:11 left to go as DePaul is dominating their opponent in Wabash. They're up 42-14. So again, good news for those on the bubble. You want DePaul to win. As Linfield and Whitworth are still tied at 7 apiece. UW-Platteville still leads 19-17 against UW-Stout at the half. UW-River Falls also leads 14-7 over UW-Oshkosh at the half. So again, after this game, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people just watching the scores to see what happens. Obviously, we're going to be taking care of their business. They can only hope that the math plays in their favor and they'll get one of those at-large bids. As we previously mentioned, North Central has already clinched the conference. They have the Pool A bid secured.
I will say it would definitely be weird to not see at least 2 CCIW teams in the playoffs. So, you know, obviously it's a potential reality, but it's usually Wheaton and North Central over recent memory have both been making it. So that would be weird to kind of see.
So Wheaton still has their offense out there on the field, 4th down and 10. North Park showing a bit of pressure. They'll only rush 4. Here's Jones throwing it to the far side. That pass is going to be caught. Nope, drop incomplete. As Ryan Kinnan let it go right through his hands.
Might have ended up a little shy of the sticks anyways. Even if he caught it, the ball took him back a little bit. I think he would have been short regardless, but one I know Ryan's going to want to have caught either way. See if North Park can get in the end zone again with 1:05 left. I mean, if he's going to be out there, I would go to Jeremy Mbogo, but we will see. Looks like he is out there.
And Jermaine Mbogo, 4 catches, $154 for him. Had a career high 150 receiving yards against Carthage on November 2nd. So Just need a couple more yards to get a new career high. Here is Eck, flushed out to his right. Lobs it downfield, pass down the sideline. Incomplete.
Like the idea and like the throw. Just couldn't come down with that one. Looking for Thaddeus Leonard over there on that sideline. Good protection up front. Roll out. Throwing the run. It's tough throw and actually puts it right on the money. You'd think he just couldn't keep his feet in bounds on that sideline.
Of course, for North Park, currently with 258 yards of offense, Matt Eck, 13 of 23, 220 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a pick. Was really just dominated by the Thunder in that first half as the offense struggled to get anything going, and then North Park's defense couldn't stop the Wheaton offense and all their motion and what so not. 56 seconds to go. Here is Eck again. Thought about taking a deep shot. Now under pressure, and he's going to go down all the way back at the 20-yard line as that sack was being made there by Jackson Powell.
Had a sack last week, I believe, and looked like Eck wanted to load up and go deep, and Jordan Johnson with the pressure ended up not making the sack, but really causes the sack, and Jackson Powell going to get credit for it in the stat sheet, but Eck wanted to load that one up and just couldn't get it off.
For Jackson Powell, he has a black belt in Kempo. Pretty cool. He does have a martial arts background.
Probably very helpful for a defensive lineman, a lot of hand-to-hand combat.
That's true. As that play clock running down at 3, North Park probably not going to run a play here as they call a timeout.
One final play here, we'll see. It's also, in a way, their senior day on the road. So
Ross, really, just what are your overall thoughts on this ball game?
Yeah, really domination for the Thunder. North Park, had some bright spots. I thought Jeremy Mbogo has had a really good game. I thought, Ben Butler on the defensive side has played a really good game. Egan Bender made some plays as well, but just a tough one for the Vikings today, who clearly were outmatched from the jump. And I think, Coach Scott and Coach Schwader both called great games with the offense and the defense, and the Thunder just executed the game plan really well. All their guys on offense and defense were really, really in sync together today, and when they're playing that way, it's a really good mix for them, and in this scenario where they're just trying to make their case for the playoffs.
Right now, John Carroll, 28, Marietta 7. And that score. 3rd down and 18. Here's Eck checking it down underneath. The pass is caught by Marcel Love. Nowhere to go. And that should be the final play. As Ryan Miller got the tackle. Wheaton takes care of their business. Final score from McCully Stadium, 66-14. And now, just wait and see. Can Wheaton get into the playoffs is the big question.
Yeah, that will be the question, and again, a lot of other programs going to be asking the same thing this season, or this weekend rather. But very comfortable win for the Thunder today. Good to see them get some of their rotational guys in as well, get them some play. Some of those guys being seniors who have worked in this program for the past 4 years and really put everything into this game. Good to see them get rewarded today with some time. And, I'm not sure what time the selection show is tomorrow, but I think a lot of people will be tuning in, trying to see how it all shakes out.
And then from that touchdown runner, it was really just Wheaton from the start. You see Giovanni Weeks will run through the highlights real quick.
Yeah, Coach Scott was, as I said in the first half, he was in his bag with his play calling and all that motion and just all the playmakers you can get the ball to. With the injuries on the offensive side in this season, Tetherington gets injured in the preseason, Cordnovan gets injured early in the season, Jessica gets injured early in the season. It's forced a lot of these guys to step up, and obviously you don't want any of those guys to be injured because they're all key players and all returning starters, but it forces these other guys on the team to step up and have a greater role, greater impact on the team. And we've seen that throughout the course of this season. And of course, Ben Bong and Giovanni Weeks have really led this team on the offensive side all season long. You see some of the highlights there of them making some plays today. But it's been fun to watch this team all season.
It was Ben Bonga, 6 catches, 125 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, 1 touchdown shy from tying Alex McCorney's record for the most receiving touchdowns in a single season. As Mark Vercucci, again, efficient, 16 of 20, 253 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Giovanni Weeks on the ground game, 9 carries, 87 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns for him. On the defensive side, Peter Johannick leading the way, 11 tackles, alongside with a tackle for loss. Johnny Eller, 7 tackles for him. Chase Smith, Nate Tofflon, those Isaac Parrish, each with 5 tackles apiece. Well, from all of us here on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network, alongside Ross Johnson, I'm Aiden Kong, signing off for the final time here from McCully Stadium.